All right, everybody. So how y'all doing today? We're going to talk about support and resistance. One thing that I am going to do is do support and resistance from top down, from a top down analysis, and that's going from a big time frame down to a smaller time frame. Let me stop sharing my face. I'm just stopped. I don't like to show my face because it throws me off when I'm seeing it. I should have just minimized it. But all right. So how I like to start is off the daily, right? Just depending on what day it is. But we may have some people here that want to swing trade and things of that nature. And I kind of did it on SPY today. So let's do it on CAT. And I can do it on any stock that you guys would want to throw in. And if you have any questions, make me the host, bro. Oh, cool. Let me make D-Wiz the host real quick. Bada bing, bada boom. Hold on. All right, I just did it, bro. Thank you. And if you don't mind, yeah, just mute everybody else that's not muted. Appreciate you, bro. Kind of forgot exactly what I was saying. Sorry, I'll be getting sidetracked. But here, and I'll do this in 1 second. And let me minimize this here. Yeah, now I don't see myself. All right. So like I was mentioning, we may have some swing traders. So I'm going to do it from weekly or monthly, whatever. I'm gonna just go from top down and show you guys how I personally look at support and resistance and things of that nature. All right, so right now, before I even draw anything up, one thing I want you guys to realize, one thing I do is I look at support and resistance completely different than my targets, right? Because everybody knows that I'm a strat trader, but I also trade patterns and just candlesticks, things that I see, right? Not only the strat. But my targets are always going to be the bottom of the wicks and the top of the wicks, right? Targets and magnitude. But when I'm looking at support and resistance, where I believe that we're going to bounce from or catch a bounce from, I'm looking at the bodies of the candles, right? I'm not looking at wicks. And when I first started trading, that's what I was like kind of taught, and just looking through YouTube videos when people just have it all small and they just start, well, here, I'll just use my thing. See, I'm already going to put it on the body of a candle because I'm just so used to it. But they just start drawing like support and resistance, and they just try to tell you, you know, where you see it stopping at, where you see it going up at, and things of that nature, right? I have a more simplistic way of trying to teach it, I believe. There we go. I believe, and it's just because I look at the bodies of the candles and I'm just looking at levels. And when I say levels, I'm also referring to like support and resistance, right? And one thing that I want you guys to keep in mind, support is somewhere where the stock finds some type of stability, right? Even though it may be indecision or playing up and down, maybe the support line, it's just always keep in mind that a support level can break is not to say that, hey, this is support and it will stay here, right? No, that's just fairly where the stock normally tends to find a bounce, right? And continue to go up, right? So as I'm mentioning that, you can see this dotted line right here is going to be the post of where the stock is at on the weekly chart, since the market is closed right now on CAT, right? So one thing that I'm seeing, if you look at this blue line without me even trying to chart support and resistance, you can see that CAT is at, I wouldn't call it like, well, I'm on a weekly chart. Let me see something. Yeah, I'll call it like I guess a major support level, right? But it's not like super major. Let me see if I take it over to the month. I'm gonna explain what I mean by major. Major is like this to me. Like this is more, you can tell that there's good support here. And I'm gonna explain it. I know I'm just throwing it like this and I got my ticker right here, I'm looking at this pin bar right here. That's how I'm looking at, even though there's more supports like right here, I don't want to get faked out, right? But that's a better support than the one that I just drew. I'm always just going to be honest, because now that I'm looking at the chart, I'm like, no, that's way better. Even though it's under the pin bar, it's more of a confirmation candle now, right? Because you can see this inverted pin bar, how it opened, came back down as a shooter, right? And it closed above that line. So I'm going to like that one a little bit more. But my bad, I'm getting sidetracked. But this is how I look at support and resistance. It's by looking at the bottoms of the bodies of the candles, right? So let me take you back to the weekly, and I'm gonna start there and just start going down. Let me delete this. All right, so the first support that I'm gonna see, and also I tend to use my last candle, right? The last candle that's closed. Like, so if the market's open and we're on a 5-minute or 30-minute chart, I'm going to use the previous candle to the candle that's live at that moment, because it's closed already, right? And it's giving me some type of support or resistance to that candle, right? And what I mean by that, it's like, say this inverted pin bar right here that we see, the 3 down. Let me turn all these indicators off so I don't start talking about them. So when we see this shooter, oops, right, it was right here. This shooter coming down. This is what I mean by support and resistance. Even though I'm going to talk about, it's because I'm looking at the targets right here. This is the magnitude. These are his targets, right? To tell you, hey, if we break the previous candle, we're taking it up, right? But these targets are also support and resistance. I don't want to confuse you. And it's because I'm a strat trader. In the strat world, we don't believe in support and resistance. We just believe in targets, right? Because support is something that doesn't break, right? So that's why in the strat world we look at it like that, right? And it makes sense in my head, right? So I merge everything that I've learned in my experience and put it all together and make it one for myself, because it's been working for me, right? So now that we know that is his range, as well as like some support and resistance, right? Even though I know I said that I'll use the bodies of the candle. Once we know, look how this candle won't break past this one. The next one, and what I mean by that, it tests it. It comes up here and it tests it. And right here is where you start to see your breakout, but still was a fake out. It's just like this pattern that you see here, which are called tweezer tops, right? And a tweezer top normally is always flush, either with the bodies or the wick. And sometimes they're not very accurate, but they tend to be pretty accurate. Like right here is a tweezer bottom, right? This pattern right here on the 2-bar candle, but it's not as flush, the bodies nor the wicks, right? So back to support and resistance. But that's how I when I was just talking about the inverted pin bar, that's how I'll look at it from a previous candle. Like if I was on a smaller time frame, I'm going to go with the previous candle that is closed, and the live candle, I'm going to use that as my break. Like that'll be my entry. It goes straight back into the strat, right? So now let's just go ahead and find some support and resist. Show you how I find support and resistance before I even go to a smaller time frame. And I want to do it on a bigger time frame so you can see how it adds up on a smaller time frame and it correlates, right? So now that we've drawn this support right here, we have that support. You can see it's on the body of this candle. Also, I'm liking this support right here, and I'm putting it on a body of this candle, right? Now there's more supports and resistance within here because I can see the levels, right? So when I'm seeing the level, I'm going off of this red candle right here, and I'm going off of the body, right? And I'm just hitting Alt 8 to shortcut it and throw it on there. But you'll normally tend to click right here and go to your horizontal line or whatever tool you like to use. I'll be talking about that shortly in my next class. I'm going to do a breakdown on how to use trading views. So now that I've drawn that one up, one thing that I'm going to do once I draw my lines is look at more candles and see how many times it's touching, right? I got a candle there touching. I got a wick right here touching. I drew it off of this one, so I know it's touching. This one's touching as well. This one is touching as resistance. One thing that I would like to just nail hard on remember, even though when you're drawing support and resistance and you're seeing it on your chart, and now we're drawing it like all the way over here and we're not fresh where the new candles would be at, understand that there's still support and resistance, but if the candle's under it, right? If the candle's under your line, it's going to be resistance, even if you drew it as support to whatever candles you're seeing. That's how it works, right? And then whatever candles that you see on top, that's going to be candles that are supporting it as support to go to another resistance. As I'm drawing right here, what I just explained with my hands, I'm gonna just explain it on the candles. As you see, let me find one. Like right here, this one still opened up and closed, this pin bar, right? Opened up and closed inside of this range. So you know it's in this level, right? And we also see a lot of candles that are playing in this level. They may not be opening and closing, just staying in that level, but that's where they're flirting. That's where they're, I like to call it flirting. You can see the wick, how it's just poking out, coming right back down, right? So it's just giving you little small fake outs. But one thing I want you to understand when you're seeing these wicks poke out of your support and your resistance, it's just taking out a target. Like there's a PMG right here, a pivot machine gun, which are series of higher lows or lower lows, right? Depending if you're going for calls or you're going for puts, like how you're seeing the higher lows right here. And then, yeah, I said it right. I'll be saying it wrong sometimes, but higher lows. And then right here, we're getting higher lows. I'm just going from the top to the bottom. That's why I be confusing myself. But long story short, this is the PMG that I'm talking about, and I'll just draw it out and I'm gonna delete it so you can understand it. The can do is taking out these targets. Boom, 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 right? It's taking it out. And on a smaller time frame, every time it took it out, it wicked back down, then started getting some more momentum, some more volume, and it started pushing more up, right? It's a domino effect. You have this one right here, boom. You see how it takes it out. You see how that wick already started wicking back. That target also got taken out, but it just wicked right back. That target also got taken out, right? And there were smaller targets within this candlestick. We're on a weekly time frame, so you will have to break this candlestick further down to be able to see those other targets, right? But we can see it if I draw it right here, because it's like support and resistance. Remember what I said, even with the wicks, even though I go with the bodies of the candles, it's price action, right? So always remember price action. The reason I drew this is so you can see how this wick right here, even though I'm not going to a small time frame, we'll see it in the price action, how it came there before it bounced and came right back up, right? So what are we seeing? Support. What are we seeing here? Resistance, right? So let me delete this and keep breaking. What I'm gonna do is keep breaking it down on different levels that I see. And we're going to take it down to a smaller time frame. And then we're going to we'll chart it up again or use a different stop. All right. So now, what was my first ones? I should have did it with different colors so I could remember, so I could keep explaining. So the next one that I'm going to try to come find, I like this one, right? I'm going to draw a line right here on the bottom of it. And you see how I'm just choosing any candles? That's one thing. And that's why I say trading is very personal, right? And that's just because I've been trading for a while and I understand that the wicks, the highs and the lows are support and resistance. The bodies of the candles are support and resistance. In the strat world, it's just going to be targets. So I understand that regardless of the fact, if it's on my chart past data, it's going to be there. These wicks, like in the strat world, that's where people place their stop loss, right? So that's why you see candles come back, take it out, and go right back. It's like it's taking those out, filling up orders that never got filled, if they're still trying to get filled, right? And a lot of other things that go behind that too. So, and I'm gonna check the chat here in a second. I drew that one off of here, right, on the body of that candle, and as we see, it comes, boom. We get a wick that touches here. That's great. We also get a close, right? A strong close that closes right there, right? And we can see how it gapped down and it came and tested it and stood under it, right? Because the reason you see that it stayed under is very important. Everything that I'm talking about, you know, I'm on a weekly time frame. It goes on a 1 minute chart, 2 minute chart, 3 minute chart. It works on everything I'm speaking on works on every single time frame. You just have to keep in mind that the time frame that you're on, right? If you're on a 1 minute, you have 60 seconds on that trade. So if you see this wicking right here, boom, and it's not closing, like check it out how you see the candles going up, right? This one still didn't close over this yellow line, right? The next one, boom, but it's testing it. The next one tests it, wakes up, and still closes now over the next line. Look how magical it is how the next candle opens up over it. Comes back to test it, right? To see, hey, do we want to stay up there? Okay, we got some bulls in here. We got people that are pushing the stock price up, whatever the case may be. And you see it continues to gradually go up. What does it do? It tests another resistance. Once it tests that other resistance, the next candle gapped up, right? Because it's a red candle. So we know that it opened up all the way up top, right? And then it came down to test it and closed right under it. Boom, and closes right under it. Because all the stock does, and I'm explaining this like if I'm looking at a 1 minute chart, well, in my head. And all that's happening is that we hit a support. Once we hit support, it goes back up to break a resistance. If it breaks a minimum resistance, it keeps going to try to break another resistance, or it goes to test it, then it comes right back down. They're just like waves, right? Before I start asking anybody if they have any questions, I just want to draw up a couple more support and resistance so we can see them on a smaller time frame, so we can see different ones on our smaller time frames. So I kind of like this one, but I don't. Let me just draw it. I'm going off of the body of this one, trying to see, oh, well, it meat and potatoes. And what I mean by that is I looked in here. Yeah, this one didn't close over it. This one broke straight through it and closed over it. I'm looking in between this support and this resistance, right? Because support is always going to be on the bottom. Resistance is always going to be at the top, right? So I'm looking in here and I'm just seeing wicks and bounces, wicks and bounces, wicks and bounces, wicks and bounces, wicks and bounces. Is nothing closing in here but these candles. You got this one right here. So I call it meat and potatoes. That starts supply and demand to me in my eyes, right? Off of a bull flag. And you can see if I normally use this thing right here for my supply and demand, rectangle, just to highlight things for me, but I already see it, but I'll do it for y'all. And Jordan likes to use this as well a lot of times. A lot of people do as well. But you can see it here, how anytime it came down here, this was a demand zone. Boom, actionable signals. They jumped back up. All you see is wicks. So that's why I called it meat and potatoes. Whenever I see something and I say meat and potatoes, I'm seeing supply and demand. And it's just because that's how I learned it, like watching YouTube videos, how somebody explained it. And I was like, ooh, makes sense. I drew that one. I'm gonna keep that one. Before I'm gonna start seeing if anybody has any questions before I go to a small time frame. So I'm just using the body of this candle. I just want to walk you guys through it because I remember when people would teach me and they'll just put it on their chart. Some people are embarrassed to ask questions, like I was at a little small point, but I just kept just asking questions. But it's just still like, okay, I see you throwing it on your chart. You understand what you're talking about, but why did you put it there? You know what I'm saying? Even when I seen YouTube videos, it's like, oh, it touched there, touched there, touched there. But can you explain a little bit more to me so I can understand? So I'm just trying to be more in depth. And if I'm taking too long to explain something, please let me know, drop it in the chat if you're understanding it so I can move on to something different, right? So I'm not using none of these wicks as support and resistance. I was using this body of the candle. And I'm also going to come down to this body of the candle and draw it down there as well, right? Don't like it. And I like it with this resistance right here because of these candles, how it's just hitting, coming right back down, right? And then this one breaks it. But I'm going to go ahead. No, you know what? I am going to leave it there. Because quickly in my head, I thought about, hey, Moody, price action. This one opened there and closed. You know it's not going to do the same thing, but you see a good resistance. I'm not going to see no more right here because that's when it broke all the way up. So now before I go to smaller time frames and show you guys how this is correlating, I'm going to check the chat and if anybody has any questions. I see Jared drop something in here. If you have any questions or comments, please raise your hand. So I know not to meet you. Thanks. Will this be recorded? Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be. Jared, what's the point of the triangle to show demand zones? Doesn't the support level already illustrate that? Can you unmute yourself, Jared? Can you elaborate? What do you mean by the triangle?
No, I said the rectangle.
The rectangle.
Yeah, the rectangle that you just drew, and then you said meat and potatoes, demand zone.
Yeah, supporting. Yeah, it does. It's just since I said meat and potatoes in my head, I was like, people are not gonna know what you're talking about, Moody. So explain what you meant by that. And I was just saying like supply and demand. Even though you are correct, exactly what you're saying. You basically can see it with the support and resistance. But some people may know more about supply and demand because I know I have to do a class on that. And I was just trying to like throw it in there, like, hey, look, this is how also I see supply and demand as well.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
And thank you for saying that, because that helps other people understand exactly what I was saying with like my chart, like the wicks and just the bodies of the candle, because you're basically like saying like, hey, I kind of already seen like the supply and demand on there as well. So that's pretty dope, bro. Appreciate that. I see why you mark these levels base, but I don't understand how you predict the direction it will go. I'm doing that on a smaller time frame. I'm just drawing support and resistance, and how I predict I don't try to well, I be predicting stuff. I ain't gonna sit here and cap, but I don't try to predict too much. I just trade what I see, and the strat helps me see that, right? Because a 2 up is a directional candle letting me know that we're going 2 up. Like, so if I turn on the strat real quick so you can see this, I just don't have, I'm just talking about support and resistance. So I don't have something else that I implement in my chart to help me guide myself, right? But as you see, like say when we were just talking about like meat and potatoes, supply and demand, right here, we got the 2 down, this red candle, we got a 2 down, 2 up, resembling a 3 pattern morning star. It just doesn't look notebook pattern and doesn't look perfect, right? But on a smaller time frame, we'll be able to see that more perfectly, right? So we got a 2 down and a 2 up, which signals a reversal pattern in the strat world, right? So that is how I'm understanding, hey, it's going up, right? Because we hit the bottom. This is going to be a bottom of a Browning formation somewhere on a smaller time frame because I'm on a weekly, right? We hit the bottom, and now we're also reversing back up. Every time we hit a 2 down, 2 up reversal, we normally continue up, especially if you see that happening on a bigger time frame, like especially on a weekly. You know what I'm saying? Like, say, let me throw up SPY real quick. SPY weekly, right? But like how I was saying, broke the bottom of the Browning formation. These are just all the targets that haven't been taken out to the downside. Only a couple of them got taken out. I believe only 2, right? So next week, normally on the bottom of the Browning formation, as you see, it always, once it's done getting exhausted to the downside, it'll retrace and give a reversal pattern back up, right? So the strat is what's helping me do that. Let me turn that off and bring it back to Cat. I'll go back to the chat here in a second. And if you have a question, you can unmute yourself and ask the question. Boom, boom. All right, I'll go back to this chat.
Hey, Moody, yeah, Eartha had a question. I asked her to unmute. I'm not sure if she's able to.
I'm here.
What's going on?
Okay.
Hi. I have difficulty with the charting stuff. So the bottom of the wick is where I'm supposed to put the lines. I don't know. Did that make sense? What I'm asking?
Yeah, it makes sense. You're new and you're
yeah,
trying to get more of the terminologies to use. But long story short, the bottom of the wicks, when I'm putting right now, I'm just drawing support and resistance. So yes, to what you're saying. But when you see it on my chart, like say, this is, and so I can make it, so you can understand this is a horizontal line. You see how it doesn't stop? I tend to do stuff on my chart so people can understand what I'm doing. Like if we go to SPY, you see how this is not a horizontal line, that orange one is, but how these stop right here. I can take it to a smaller time frame. 10 minute. Oh no, don't do that. Where did I get these from? 30 minute. You're gonna see how these are not horizontal lines, they stop. And what I'm trying to show you by this is when you see this on my chart, that's just a target. That's meaning these targets, these stop losses have not been taken out yet, right? Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter, it could be crypto, anything, right? This price has not came down here since, well, let me not use this one because this one could have probably got taken out, right? Because we've seen like 2 of them got taken out. The price hasn't gotten down here at 360, 367 since December the 21st of 2020, right? So I'm just, when you see it that way, it's still support and resistance, right? Keep that in mind because you're new and you're trying to understand support and resistance and the strat at the same time. It's still support and resistance, but when you see them on my chart, they're take profit levels. That means take your profit right there, right? Because it can wick right back up.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm new, like you said, so I'm trying to get it.
What I could have confused you with something, and I just noticed I was showing somebody something and I kept my stuff on regular time. Thank God I was not on here. But long story short, did I confuse you with anything that I was just saying? Because I know you're new, or can I elaborate more on something to make it?
No. Go ahead with the class. No. I don't want to interrupt. It's something I'm still learning because I'm new. That's all.
Gotcha. All right.
Moody mentioned something about like the previous candle before the close. Like you generally look at that one. Can you repeat what you meant by that?
Say that one more time.
When you first started, you were saying you generally go to you were on the weekly time frame at that time, and you said that you generally start with the candle right before the one that's live and in progress to draw your.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I was on a weekly, but I was talking more so like if I was on a smaller time frame, because I do remember when I was like, you could do this all on a smaller time frame.
Yeah.
What I was meaning by is when I'm doing support and resistance using the bodies of the candles, right? Because I know I used some wicks. At one point it was like 1 or 2 that I used, but let me just take you over to I'll just take you over to Bitcoin. It's the best way to do it. 1 minute chart. Let's go, baby. Certain things are just always best for me to just describe it live. So this one's live, this candle, right? So if I was going to look at support and resistance, see, this is good that I'm doing this live, because I would say I use the previous candle just like I said right now, right? But this chart is showing me different. I wouldn't want to use this previous right here because it's so close. Right now that I got a new live, you see, that's why I was saying it's just too close. And I know how volatile Bitcoin is. So I would have not wanted to use that as support and resistance because I would have got faked out my trade quickly. You see how I quickly threw the chart up and it's just doop, 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 right? So I would want to use this previous candle, right? To give myself some time because I'm just throwing up the chart. All right. I want to go to, like bigger time frames, like a 10 minute, 5 minutes, see exactly what's going on. But to answer your question, like that's what I'm going to do if I'm on a smaller time frame, like a 5. Let's take it to a 5 minute, probably be better. See, 5 minutes actually better. But this is the live candle, right? And I don't want to use this candle because this is like it's not a gap down, but you can see how it just broke this support and it's at another support, right? You can see how this candle was support to it at one point. If I bring it to a smaller time frame, you'll also see that as well. Does that make sense, or should I explain it a different way?
No, that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. It just always depends. Like, see, I'll bring it over here, matter of fact. It just always depends on how the candle is. Like this one is kind of like gap down, so I'm not going to use that. Like you could just see it once you start drawing on your chart. Yeah, because it kind of already left that area, right? I like this one though. Let me delete this one so you can see. And it's just, so I can explain it a little better, is because of the price action, right? Because of the wick. This wick down came back, this wicked up. So there's price action within here where it could have went right back up. Obviously, we're seeing in hindsight that it went back down and gave us a bear flag and then just broke right back down on a bear flag, head and shoulders as well. But let's go back to Cap. Anybody else has any more questions before I start bringing it down to smaller time frames and talking more so on support and resistance?
Yeah, Moody, Jared had a question in the chat.
What's going on, Jared? I mean, so.
Yeah, so it's actually perfect in line with what you're about to do, go to the smaller time frames. So this is a point that's always confused me. When I am charting these support and resistance levels, I'm not sure how far back in history I should be considering. So if I'm a day trader looking at a 30-minute chart, should I be looking at 2 months ago, considering, of course, I would plot even earlier support and resistance levels, but is there a rule of thumb, or should you just use your judgment as you develop your trading skills?
I would give a rule of thumb, but what you just said, the last thing, learn as you go. But my rule of thumb is what you just said is very, it's to me, it's just logical. I wouldn't want, if I'm a day trader, I wouldn't want to like be charting on a monthly time frame, like on some support and resistance to be day trading, intraday trading. It's not going to work that way. And that's why it's going to correlate exactly what you just said, how it's going to correlate with me going to smaller time frames, right? Because bigger time frames do hold more weight, right? But you have to understand that these time frames, a weekly time frame has 5 days in it, right? A hourly chart has 7 candlesticks in it, right? So you have 8 hours or 8 hours to trade, right? So you have to keep those things in mind when looking at support and resistance, right? Because as we're looking at this chart, we see that it came all the way down to this support, right? But as it was going down, how long did it take for it to go down there, right? That was April, May, all the way through May, and then this is the first test, right? So you would have trading options, you will want to time that correctly, right? And if you're going off of a weekly time frame doing all of this, and you just believe like, no, we just hit the double top up here, we're at this support, I think we're going to bring it down to this support. One thing that you want to do is use the smaller time frames to give you a more accurate and a sniper entry, right? To and also give yourself some more time on an option contract so the time decay doesn't kill you.
Gotcha. All right, thank you.
Absolutely. All right, let me see. Let me go back to the chat. And Jared, did that make sense? Am I able to say it in a different way for it to make sense?
Yes, sir. That made sense to me.
Absolutely, thank you. All right, that's the fire. All right, cool, definitely. That was a good question. I spent a lot of time going all the way back to 2020 because I thought it would help me with the market correction. Kate, it will help you with the market correction, but just know that it will take time, right? So let me just pull up SPY real quick because I got a broad information drawn up on it already. Like, I remember when we were breaking down, you remember, because we're in a group. I don't know, I'll say like around here, right? Like February, March, right? We're like, oh no, it's gonna go down here because it has these targets. But mind you, we're getting these targets from over here. You remember when we were like, it's going to 400, it's going to 400, if it breaks 400, or was it 400? No, I forgot what was that main level we were all talking about, and it was gonna fill up a gap. I already forgot about it, but it took time for it to go down there. Or even when the war happened, right? And we're like, oh, short SPY. You see how it still ran up a little bit, and things of that nature. The price is gonna aggregate, right? So it will help you in a long term. Like, say if you're opening up a leap or a I like to say a swing, but not a swing that you're just swinging throughout the week or maybe for like 2 weeks, a swing that's like, you know, that has time on it, like maybe 3 months to 6 months. Because I consider my leaves being like a year out or close to a year, but having one of those contracts that help you much more, right? And it's gonna move slower because of time decay and things of that nature. So let me take it over back to Kat. Cool. Nobody else has any more questions about like what just took place, or explaining anything to anybody else? Somebody just raised their hand. Dennis, what's going on, Dennis?
What up, bro? What up? So look, when this probably unrelated, but probably this happened a lot with SPY because I traded a lot. But sometimes I get faked out with SPY when it comes to it coming to resistance, and then it's, you know, a reject versus a bounce. There was a a document. Well, it wasn't a document. It was like a picture they posted way back. I still can't find it. But like, I wanted to see on this chart if you can point out a fake out versus, you know, an actual break of resistance, like closing above that line instead of, you know, in the middle and then getting reject. You get what I'm saying?
Just repeat the last part again, because I'm just seeing a whole bunch of fake outs right here. Like when I was talking about the Tweezer Tops, those
yeah. So yeah, exactly. Like I'm like the fake outs, spotting the fake outs versus an actual break of resistance. Like, hey, this is a fake out. This is not an actual break of resistance.
Yeah, I definitely will do that. When I get it down to the smaller time frames, I'll definitely do that. It'll be better on a smaller time frame than here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. All right, bet.
I got you. Definitely. Let me check the chat one more time. Got you. Boom. Well, let me read it because this is unrelated. I thought it was you. Okay, teacher. A rough week to trade Tuesday through Thursday. I don't understand your question. Are you asking me? Has it been a rough? You saw your iPhone said, unrelated question. Has this been a rough week to trade Tuesday through Thursday? I don't think so. It's always it just depends. Like what I like to tell people, it just depends on how you wake up, how do you feel, and how confident you are in yourself and how confident you are on what you know, right? Because the market is always going to seem choppy. The market is always going to be going up or going down or consolidating. So it's about not, hey, I don't want to do this, or is this. Is more so let me learn and educate myself how to trade in a consolidation market or in a bear market or in a bullish market. Hopefully I answered that question. All right, let me see. It's going to be rough for someone. Exactly. It's always going to be rough. I'm just the type of person, and I don't want to seem like everything's easy to me. I just don't want to tell myself that something's going to be rough because I love my mind and I love myself and I love my mindset. And I don't want to digest anything that I think is rough. You know, life is hard in general, but I tell myself that life is easy because that's what I want to perceive and I want to make my reality easy. So I don't know. It's just the way I think. I'm weird, trust me. All right, so breaking it down, let's go down to a daily. And once I start seeing more supports and resistance, I'm going to use a different color so you can see that we grabbed all of these from the weekly time frame. So let's bring it over. Let's take it to the 10-day chart. I like talking about it because I feel like I made it, but I know I didn't. What does consolidation look like on a chart? We'll get to that. All right, so now that I'm on a 10-day chart, I don't really see no more like supports and resistance that I can draw this one that I'm seeing. See, I'll be having it all the way down here and I'm looking at this candle. But I do see this one, but I don't want to draw that one because I'm gonna see better ones when I go to a smaller time frame, right? It's all about picking your poison. Daily, boom. Daily has a whole bunch that we're missing, right? And I'm making it smaller because I also want to see where I believe that the price is going to be headed, right? So let me explain what I'm seeing. So I'm looking at this candle, right? I care about everything else, but more specifically, I care about this candle. I care about where it opened up at. Let's go ahead and do that, right? And we're going to change that color because we're on a daily now to, let's just say we'll use, no, it's too similar to that. Let's use blue. And, well, we know this orange one's right there, but I'll delete this one because I don't need it. Well, it's kind of throwing it off. Gotcha. Never mind. We know that yellow one's right there, right? So I just want to, I'm putting this here so I can see price action and how it moved in previous data and what happened what happens at this level. And also I want to see what happens at this level, right? And I'm not going to get confused because I know it's that yellow one, but as you see, we got this dotted line hovering up top that we're going to be able to see once we go to past data, right? So first thing I'm gonna go do, I see one drop right here, right? So the first thing that I'm seeing is And when you're trading, that's one of the first things you want to do is like, what's the trend? Is it a downtrend or is it an uptrend? That's what makes trading so simple. Like if you're new and you're just like waiting for somebody to call a play, and then you have confidence in yourself too, and you're just looking at the chart and you just got the 5-minute or 15-minute open, you're getting confused because it's like you're on a 5 or 15-minute and you don't even know the trend yet, right? Don't set yourself up for failure, set yourself up for success, right? Always ask questions. But one thing that I'm seeing, we're on a downtrend, right? I should have mentioned that, seeing that off of the weekly, and we can see that also on the daily, right? On top of that, what I'm also seeing is we're possibly coming into a double bottom pattern, right? Because we have one drop right here, comes back down, another drop right here. And this one just so happens to be kind of perfect, right? And sometimes even when you see a double bottom, doesn't mean that it's going to boom and automatically run up. Just like you see this double bottom right here, right? Drop, one bottom, two bottom on the blue line right here, one bottom, two bottom, right? You see how it still came down and ran up, right? But when you seen that one bottom here and that two bottom there, how it ran up, right? But I'm going to be able to understand that that was a one bottom, two bottom because I'm looking at a daily chart. But it's just me understanding that when these candles weren't there, that's how everybody else was looking at it. Evening star, oh dang, it didn't confirm. Double bottom, why? Because that double bottom is going to confirm on a smaller time frame. Everything we do on a bigger time frame confirms it on a smaller time frame, right? Before I keep moving forward, look, I'll pull up the Discord. You guys can see. Let me take it over to the general chat. Everything that I was saying came from a bigger time frame. Damn, who's going in? All right, right here. Once I started typing about SPY, we were on a 4-hour time frame that I'm explaining everything. A 3-2, I see a bullish reversal coming in. Also, my candle is blue, letting me know that there's full time frame continuity on a smaller time frame, right? And I know my smaller time frames that I have my full time frame continuity. So I know it was running into the hour. So if it's running into the hour and it's the last of the hour, we're pushing the market up before it closed, right? It dumped a little bit, but then it started pushing right back up. Then I correlated, so you can see, I correlated the 4-hour 3-2 down. I'm wanting to see a 2 up. That's me anticipating it, but we're going to wait for confirmation for tomorrow because the 4-hour time frame, you only get 2 candlesticks. So we take it over to the hour, right? Which is going to be its last candlestick, and this is the swing of the candlestick. So we can possibly get a continuation off of a Morningstar 3-2 reversal pattern that we're correlating that we would like to see on a 4-hour time frame. And that's why I use multiple time frame analysis. And how I confirm things, look, right here, Tweezer top on 30-minute, right there, right? It's bearish. And I'm just confirming things and showing you guys what I'm seeing as I come down. Confirmation on a 15-minute. Check it out. But look how these candles are coming down here. I'm no longer going to be looking for puts. Why? Because I'm seeing the Tweezer top already in action. Sorry, on the hour, on the 30-minute, bringing it down to the 15-minute, right? Once I bring it down to the 15-minute, what do I find? RSI trying to run back up on a 1-minute chart. I find a PMG and a Morningstar pattern, right? Anywhere we go and watch. Dang, drove to me from the bottom. I want to see this on the bottom. Because we see this all the time. Right here. Morningstars, boom, and how it continues up. Morningstars, and boom, how it continues up. So since I've seen these pictures so much and been trading so much, it's just like in my head, I'm, oh, snap. Hopefully that happens, right? Dang, I was on Discord. Right? Morningstar. Also, I'm a strat trader, but like I said, I trade patterns and everything. I know I'm a little off of support and resistance right now, but I want you guys to understand this because that's exactly what I was doing here with the levels, right? So I'm seeing that morning star, and as I see that morning star, the pictures that I showed you is what I'm seeing in my head that can possibly happen, right? Just like we see the morning star right here, morning star, but this is a 1 minute chart. So you got to hurry up and catch that move. You got to know your resistance and support. And of course, if you're buying one contract and it's just moving, excuse me, $1, you're making some money, 50 cents. You possibly not going to feel like you're making enough money, right? So it's all about sizing, right? You have to have capital in your account to be able to size correctly. And even if you don't have the capital in your account, you can still size correctly. You just have to be disciplined at taking a 10% to 30% profit. It's okay to run with $13. It's okay to run with 15, 20 bucks, right? That's what's going to get you, as you do that every single day, 3 months, 4 months, that's what's going to get you to play with the big league players where you're buying a bunch of contracts and your 10% are now anywhere between 300 to 500 bucks, right? So that's what I saw. Saw the Morningstar, confirmed it from bigger time frames, going down to a smaller time frame. And then what happened there? Got bigger, took out PMG, right? All this PMG, took out that target, took out that target. And as you go, boom, what happens here? Once you start understanding these patterns, Morningstar, Tweezer top, right? Came right back down, just trying to retest. If it doesn't come and break that Morningstar pattern again, you're still good, right? So boom, what happens? Let's keep looking at it. More consolidation, accumulation. That when I see bars like this that are just like even, I start looking at accumulation. Price is gonna break out because nobody agrees on nothing. It's always supply and demand. Nobody's gonna agree to sell it to you for the same price, right? So what also do I say? Actionable signals, right? I'm starting to see actionable signals here. Not the one in the strat, but the candlestick. Just like this Dragonfly Doji is an actionable signal. Any doji is an actionable signal, even though you got to understand doji also is indecision in the market. Pin bar is an actionable signal, right? It's letting you know that whatever trend that it is, I'm gonna say it this way, whatever trend that you're seeing that pin bar in, that it can possibly continue in that trend, right? Because it's not an inverted pin bar, right? But it's a possible. It's not saying that it will do it, right? But it tends to do it. What do we see after that actionable signal? Another actionable signal, just like this one. First we seen a pin bar, now we see the dragonfly. What does the dragonfly resemble? I want to fly. A dragonfly wants to go up, especially when you find them on the bottom of a downtrend. It's very important where you find actionable signals. You can't find an actionable signal on consolidation and think that it's going to run. It's actionable, but it's not going to happen, right? Come down to this picture. I said it's not holding, right? Because I seen the reversal, the 2-1-2 reversal. I'm like, oh, it's not holding. Guess what? I come right back because I'm trading what I see. Even though I wasn't trading, I was trying to help people see things, right? Trying to hold the white line, fire, right? Because I'm now seeing it wick and come right back down, wick and come right back down. We got 40 seconds. I'm like, oh no, it's trying to hold. What happens? An ugly morning star. And I called it that because I knew some people would see it and wouldn't see, they will be looking for the textbook pattern, right? As we see right here, this one bar is a bar, actionable signal, but it broke up. It's just a 3-bar sequence, right? That's a morning star. Boom, it did it again. And what happened? Breakout. Because it broke his morning star and kept going, just like this one. It broke his morning star, kept going. And everybody knows after that, it just went crazy. It went all the way like up here somewhere. Yeah, see? And tried to give an evening star to take it right back down. Couldn't confirm it. It went 2 down, 3-bar, broadening formation, right? And that's how it started to end throughout the day. But let's go back to the charts. I see people were all in the chat. Hold on. Let's go to the chat real quick before I keep going. Appreciate you, D-Will. I see you in there answering questions. So we're gonna get to the consolidation. And real quick, bro, I'll show it to you on a small time frame. That's not weird. That's just speaking things into existence. Facts, right? Facts. Right. Are you using the Fibonacci Bollinger Bands and Man, you said so many indicators. Nah, I don't use none of those indicators to make decisions on options. No, I don't use, the only indicator I use is the RSI. And I wish I could say that I don't use indicators, but not yet. The RSI is the only thing I use. This is my first time to trade period. And I think the difference is patience in this market versus rough, as the last 2 years has been a bull market. You can throw all calls at anything and run over 100%. Now you will blow your account doing that. Correct. Darren Moody doesn't use any. Appreciate you, bro. I got some studying to do. Like a lot of man is speaking in a foreign language with all these patterns. Man, my bad, bro. Just let me know, bro. Like I'll break the patterns down too. You see, I got even stars in here, so it's
That's
all
good. Like everything you saying is clear. It's just I don't have all the vocabulary and understand these patterns to be able to completely follow. But that just means I got to go and study some of this stuff because I assume y'all have talked about it countless times inside the Discord and these calls.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Tap into the classes, to the Friday classes is what we do. Bro, you know I'm learning from you, bro. You the freaking GOAT.
Thank you.
Absolutely, bro. I'm always learning from you and just on your Instagram and always, bro. Flowers to you. So if I can do anything, bro, you got free one-on-ones, bro. Come on now, just hit me up.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I was about to say the same thing, Jerry. Facts. Same thing. Recommending learning how to use transfers. They have links in the Discord. Yeah, appreciate you. They also recommend taking Jordan's free beginners. Yeah, bro, definitely too. One thing that I would say, and you're in this Discord, Jared, and anybody else, please take advantage of Jordan's free investments beginners course, right? Go to martininvestments.com, I believe. Just hit Jordan up because I may be saying the wrong thing. But he has a lot of free information. And that's one thing that I respect about Jordan as well. And that I learned from him too, is just, just providing people with great value, but like also giving it away for free. It's not always, it doesn't need to be charging somebody for something, right? Because at one point you wasn't there and you needed help, right? And everybody's path is different, right? So it's just about nurturing people and just being there for them and doing things. So I appreciate you also saying that, Pam. But everybody, please take advantage of that. Take advantage of anything that's free, and all the education in the Discord is free. I think VWAP is very consistent, is a very consistent indicator for SPY. Very frequently I see it bounce or get rejected there. I wouldn't say I agree with you, but I'm saying I agree with you because my cousin trades with the VWAP. I done seen countless different traders trade with it, and I've seen what's happened before. I've thrown it on my chart as well. It's just I'm a strat trader, so the EMAs, the strat disrespects it. You'll think it's gonna like short it, you'll get a reversal, just boom, just breaks it straight through. So I stopped like using it. I'm gonna use like EMAs and other things, even the VWAP, because I did like the VWAP for other things. But as of late, I'm just not someone that really likes to use indicators. I like to just go off of price action and the actual candlesticks. And appreciate it, for real. How do you pick your strike prices and options change using the strat? Levels, support and resistance, exactly what we're talking about, right? If I believe, like I was going to explain what I was doing here, and I'm gonna do that in a second, but if I believe that is going to go back to 201, it just depends on your capital, right? Can you go at the money? Can you go two strikes out the money, or do you have to go further out the money? You know what I'm saying? Maybe it just depends on what you're doing, but that's how I choose them by price targets and levels, me thinking that it's going to break this level, and I don't have the mindset of that my option contract has to go into money. I really don't care. I just need my option contract to move $10 to $30. Jared, same here. Very fast. Oh man, I appreciate you, Jared, bro. Gratitude, my brother. Gratitude. You're right back, bro. No problem, D-Wiz. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Jared. Dang, you touched my heart, bro. That's real. You didn't even have to do that. So what was I gonna explain? Oh yeah. So like me looking at the opening right here, just real quick, I'm just gonna look at these candles and see how it played at this level. Like, do we break this blue line often? Do we get faked out often? And we know that this is the line where it's at right here. So as I go to past data, I'm looking at these levels, the blue to this. I'm not really caring about the yellow, right? Because I want to see how it breaks straight through it. You see how it just got straight through it? That's why I was saying, like, I didn't really care about the yellow, but all right. So and let me explain myself. So I'm looking at the candles and I'm saying, okay, it drops all the way down. Cool. And it came from this level. It came from a high level, gapped all the way down, came back and still came down here, gave a triple bottom pattern, 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap. That is a bullish reversal, just like a double bottom is a bullish reversal. So once it got back up here, it is very bullish at this level. Once it starts breaking past up, if you see that with these levels, you can see the candlesticks very bullish. I'm knowing that I'm in my mind, I'm telling myself the descriptions of all these candles because I'm like 3 white soldiers, actionable signals, comes back down, breaks past the level, right? Now I want to see when it gets back to a high, when it comes back down. The reason I'm saying I want to see when it gets back to a high, because what did it do here? It was at a high and came back down to the level. So I want to see how it's going to react, right? So boom, comes back down. I see it plays and reverses at this blue line, right? So it's a major, it's a major support, as you see. It likes to bounce from that line, right? From that opening price where CAT was today. I am on a daily chart, yes. So as I see that gap up, it doesn't stay, it stays here, you know, like, because you can see all of this movement for like a whole week, right? But it doesn't stay there too long. And then you can see how it gets stronger. This is what I mean by when it gets stronger. You see, like, we come down, all these candles were small, running up, but they were strong candles because they're closing super higher than they're open, right? Boom, consolidations, comes back down, bigger candle, one candle coming down to this level takes it all, takes it back up. It doesn't take all these days to take it back up. Boom, goes to another level. So now looking from here, what does it do? Bear flag, breaks down. All right, tweezer bottom. Look at how many candles did that last time. One candle right there. Look at less candles this time, right? Comes back down. We get a resistance, come back down. What happens again? A lot of candles, less candles, gap up. Gotcha. All right. Bull flag, breaks, goes back up, consolidates. One thing I started noticing, we consolidate a lot around here. We bounce and consolidate here a lot, right? So you don't want to get faked out here. You want to catch that bounce here, right? But I'm gonna just go, let me not draw no more support and resistance. Let me keep explaining what I'm seeing, right? And I'm seeing all of this, comes back down, double bottom, comes back up, right? And I'm keeping in mind that is the blue line, and this is where we closed, right? And also the price action, the wick is down there, right? So boom, we break all the way down. Did we do that over here? It's very important to know that. Why? Because that means it can get exhausted to the downside now, right? Boom, boom. We came down here, came down here, came down here, came back up there, never came back down here, even with this head and shoulders, didn't come back down here, boom, breaks, comes all the way down there, breaks all the support, comes down to this support. Let me just see something. Just a straight bounce, right? So supply and demand right there. Let me delete that. And it runs straight up. All right. So where's that level? Right here. I want to see how it reacts. Look how it reacts coming back to that level. Just like anytime it broke down, back down here, how it just gets bullish and runs up, right? Gets bullish again, runs up, wick, comes right back down, gap up. What happened over there? Gap up, got you, right? So I'm like, okay, so it likes to gap up on this around here as well. And we also see that the reason that wick came right there and came back down, all it did was take out its target and clean gap and came right back down. The next day, it was even stronger. So now I'm gonna come back over here and I'm seeing how we coming down, right? With the waves, we shot up hard, came back down hard, right? Double bottom. Now this is telling me, wait, wait for a reversal. Yes, it can be a double bottom and it can reverse, but as we go to smaller time frames, it's going to tell us what's a better direction, right? Because the smaller time frame is going to let us know if we're reversing, right? So let me delete this, and I will draw some more support and resistance. But one thing before I draw some more support and resistance, let me blow your, it's not gonna blow your mind, but take you to the 15-minute with everything that I've drawn. Look at how it correlates. I'm gonna put more lines in here. It's gonna look more choppy, but look how it is correlating.
Oh, no, it's not fixed in there.
On the 15.
You gotta find a remote.
Which one? The TV remote?
Christina, your mic's hot.
It's off the channel or?
Christina.
Yeah, it's off the source.
No, you sure? I'm gonna just mute everybody. I'm muting everybody, but if you wasn't talking or nothing, you want to mute yourself and talk, you're good. But you can see on the 15-minute how it's correlating. And when I say correlating, how it's staying in its range, and it's like you're seeing that, right? Even though it broke down this range, it's just we didn't draw no more support and resistance, so we didn't know, right? But you can see how like you can trade it just like that. Like say if you go to this one, this is be like your new candles. When the market open, it looks like it's reversing. You know, if it goes all the way up, of course I didn't draw it, but I'm gonna tell you it's gonna stop right here, right? It's gonna come eat up all this PMG, and it's because there's some resistance right here, right? And that's because there's some resistance right here. How when it came down, it dropped. Look how, oh no, we don't want to go down there. Boom, let's test it. Goes back up. Candles are above it, goes right back down. That's resistance right there. Inverted cup and handle drops, right? Yeah, but that's what I see. And then like one thing I'm gonna do, like let's say the market was open, I'm like, nah, man, it's reversing. We gotta, I'll be trying to remember all these things. Tweezer bottom. We got a tweezer bottom right here. That's like a bull flag on a smaller time frame. I just can see that. Let me draw it just to make sure. I like to test myself. We'll find it. I did it like that for a reason. But what I was gonna do, everybody already knows it, but I would have just took this thing right here, and these would have been my targets. Like I would have not tried to take that one because it's gonna take it out. That one, that one, that one. I would have took it all the way, not to the top. I ain't gonna say here in cap, right? I know that that's my resistance, but I would have tried to just get some of that money right there. Buy a good bit of contrast, boom, I'm done. Run. But that's how I would have done. Let me explain myself. Those are my targets, right? Like going off of the strat, the top of those wicks, those are targets, but it's also going to be some support and resistance, right? If you take a picture of this and just put it on your chart, right, those levels, you can go and test me, and you'll see when the market opens, it's going to play there. If it didn't gap up or gap down, it's going to play there, and it's going to hit every single one of them and go up and down. I promise you. I should never have said that, but I promise you. So let me just delete this so I can see about this bull flag, and then we're going to start with some more support and resistance, because I know I'm just talking about a whole bunch of stuff, but I feel like this helps y'all. But if it doesn't help y'all, please say something. And say something even if it does help y'all, so I can know that. Oh, anybody want to say anything? Okay, gotcha. That's what I'm gonna do, see if it was a bull flag. No. Let's see if I put it 3 minutes. Nah, definitely not no bull flag in there. See, and that's why I like to test myself. Nope. All right. Delete, 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 delete. And then this was the line. Delete. All right, so we was on a daily, and we're gonna bring it down to smaller time frame, and also just talk about the stock, right? So we're seeing a double bottom on there. Let me look at the chat real quick before I keep going. Can you draw the support and resistance on the stock from a clear chart with no lines? That's what I did, Tiffany. The chart didn't have no lines. It was a clean chart, and I started on it. I'm not sure if you just jumped on the Zoom. Was you able to see that? You can unmute yourself as well. Good idea, Tiff. Eartha, I think you was on here in the beginning. Y'all didn't see that I had these lines drawn up or something before. I got a good memory. I don't believe so. I think I did it fresh. But I'll do it on another chart too. Doesn't matter. And you can pick the chart. So let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour actionable signal, pin bar, but it's not like this is more of a pin bar. So I take that back. It's there, but it's on a smaller time frame. Let me see the chart real quick. No lines were drawn fresh. No lines were drawn fresh. Man, I don't want to call you a liar, but yeah, you're a liar. I drew all these lines fresh from the weekly time frame. I was on a weekly time frame and drew every single one of these lines with an empty chart from the weekly. Yeah, that's where I started, and I'm going down to a smaller time frame. What are you? You can unmute yourselves, and I can understand, right? Because when
yes, he drew the lines fresh. He started from the weekly chart, and then he broke down to the daily, and now down to the 4-hour.
I appreciate whoever had my back like that. Appreciate you. But yeah, that's how I did it. And you can Tracy, Tiff, Eartha. Well, I'm pretty sure Eartha's seen that. But y'all come mute yourself so I can understand what y'all saying. Y'all can also pick the chart, and I'll do it on that chart too, on a naked chart, no lines, and restart on whatever time frame you will want.
No, I'm good, Mooney. I'm good.
Okay, what I'm trying to do is show you something where you take it from top-down analysis, and you can keep these lines on your chart, and you know where the stock is going. Or, but I'll show you how to just do it on a 5-minute time frame as well. It's just gonna be super fast.
But for a newbie, should I be doing it like on a weekly, because I'm new, so I'm not sure if I should pick weekly, monthly, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
just,
I do know what you mean, but you're leaving it up to me to tell you what to do. What kind of
right,
trader do you want to be? Yeah, right, that's wrong. What kind of trader do you want to be?
swing.
So if you're a swing trader, you want to start looking more so at weeklies and dailies, right? And you
Got
want to
it.
start using like 4 hours and 1 hour to enter. Sniper entries, 30 minutes to 15 minutes, because you want to be a swing trader. And that's from top down all the way down. And that's just what I would think logically, because I swing trade as well and what I do, right?
Okay, and then the day traded will be the 5 minutes to 10 minute stuff.
Day trading, you still want to start from your daily because you're a day trader. You want to know what's going on with your daily time frame. You're still going to want to look at your weekly. That's why I'm trying to get people to understand time frames. Like everything that I'm doing, it doesn't matter on what time frame I'm doing, it's going to work on a 1-minute chart. It's going to work on a 3-minute chart. It's just the time frames move faster. If you have 4 hours to get to work and you're driving to work, and say your distance is 3 hours, it's always going to take you 3 hours on whatever road you try to take. But if you move right to a closer closer location to your job, and now your job is 30 minutes away, now you're on a 30-minute time frame, so it's going to take you 30 minutes no matter how long you try to take, right? So that's what you have to keep in mind, is that these waves, this uptrend and this downtrend, are faster on a smaller time frame. On a 1 minute is extremely fast. On a 3 minute is extremely fast. On a 5 minute is a little more slower. On a 15 minute is more slower, right? Let me just explain that. You see how we were just on a 4 hour? That took from, look at the time down, or you can't see my finger, but down here where I'm circling that was May 23rd of 2022 at 8 o'clock in the morning, right? From May 23rd to go all the way up here, it took all the way to January the 8th, because this is a 4-hour time frame. So it's going to take longer to see the moves. Like if you were having targets to your left, it's going to take longer for you to get your move. Sometimes not, right? Because you could get big old candles, right? Just depending on what's going on in the market. But as you've seen, what I just showed you, if you take it down to a 15-minute, it is no longer like that. It is the same type of chart, but you have to understand that it moves with the same patterns, the same candlesticks. It's just faster. It's 15 minutes faster. Each candlestick represents 15 minutes of the market, When you're looking at a daily chart, that one candle represents 1 day of the market. When you're looking at the hourly chart, one candle on an hourly chart is representing 1 hour of the market, right? So let's just say we're on this 15-minute chart, right? You're seeing the same thing, higher highs, higher lows, just a little more choppier, right? And when I say choppier, it's that it doesn't look, I shouldn't use that word. It looks a little more sloppier, right? Because if I take it back to the 4 hour, check it. It's like that uptrend is perfect, right? It's like, no, that is an uptrend. I can see it. That is a downtrend. I can see it. That's a little bit of consolidation. I can see it. On a 15-minute, you're going to be able to see that too. It's just going to be different, right? Uptrend. It's just quicker. Look, downtrend. Look how long it took. This downtrend, as soon as the market opened, right? I was just about to tell you a strategy. Let me not talk about that strategy. But as soon as the market opened, it breaks below pre-market lows, right? Now that it's under these pre-market low candles, it went, look, this is 9:30. You can see it at the bottom. From 9:30 to 11 o'clock, it was on a downtrend. It went from the price of 209 all the way down to 205. From 11 o'clock, it turned into an uptrend. From 11 all the way to 12:15. So it's just the time that you have. You know what I'm saying?
Got it. Yeah, I got it.
Got you. All right.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to be hard on y'all, but I be trying to drill it in so like y'all can understand. I wish people were like this with me, but if I'm being too hard, please let me know, because I'm really.
No, you're not.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, homie said.
Is it easier to trade Forex or options?
For me, Forex. Because I'm saying it just depends. I can't say that. It really just depends on that person. Everything trading really depends on you and your FOMO. I don't know your emotions. I don't know how you react with losing $1,000 or losing $10,000 or losing $5,000. Does it bother you? Does it hurt you? Is that your well-being? That's what I mean by trading is very personal. I can lose something and it can be okay to me. I can win something and it can be okay to me, right? You can lose something starting off and it could be a detriment to you trading or you quitting, right? So that's why I try to tell people the truth and tell them, hey, it's really up to you. And bro, I be doing free one-on-one sometimes. Like it just, you just got to understand what you want to do. Why are you trading, right? What is your goal? How much money you want to make a week? And this is why, like, that's what helps you like understand how, your risk management, how to trade. It starts helping you understand, like, bro, if you got $500 in your account, you're trying to be a swing trader, like, you're going to go, it's stressful, bro. Like, you see, I just scratched my head. I remember when I used to try to do that, it's stressful. Why I say that it's stressful? Because you're going to catch FOMO. You're going to buy a couple of contracts to swing. They're going to be playing either 3-5% profit, breaking even, or negative 10%. You're going to be holding them. Then you're going to have like what, 225 or 175 to trade with. You're going to see a trade and you're swinging, right? Because you believe you're a swing trader. Now you're taking day trades, right? And then it depends on the platform that you're using, right? You may be using Robinhood, doing all that. Now you're stuck in a PDT rule where it's like you can't get out that trade. So that's why I tell people it's very personal. So like even when you always ask questions, but always understand that when we're saying stuff, if you haven't applied it, that's why you're still going through that. If you still don't even know how much money you want to make a week, you're going to go through a lot of fun. I went through it myself. I promise you, you're going to go through depressful days because you're not going to know when to get out. The Discord is going to be going crazy this day. The Discord is going to be going down this day. Discord's not going to be doing nothing this day, right? And the thing is, it may be going crazy and you don't have the size of the account and it's like it's going crazy, but people are getting in at the right entry points and you buying everything at resistance and now you're losing money, but everybody cashing out, but you losing money and people are like, so that's what I'm saying. Like once you know how much money you want to make, bro, if you want to make $50 a day, I mean 50, this dude, what's his name? He's always talking about sushi, Big O, like bro, I admire his discipline. He can see somebody make $1 million. That shit not gonna bother him. Hey, bro, I lost 200 a day. I'm happy you made $1 million, but I'm gonna chill on my boat because.
Oh, she said, would you send your best friend a $1,000?
My best friend know not to ask.
First of all,
Can y'all please mute yourselves, Jennifer? I'm over here thinking y'all trying to ask me a question. Now y'all just threw me all off. All right, so let's just get back to the charts. So what was I doing? Oh, I brought it all the way down to the 15. All right, so like from the 4 hour, we got some support and resistance already drawn that we started from the weekly, right? And I'm gonna do this all on a different stock for y'all and do it on the 5. I think people just want to see it on a 15 or 5 minute time frame. And I'm just gonna pray that you went to a bigger time frame and you know the direction and you understood everything that I said before you do that, because I don't want you guys to get faked out, right? So even if I take it to 3 hours, it's gonna look kind of the same because 3 hours and 4 hours kind of the same, but this is very actionable to me. Remember when I was like pin bars is getting more so closer to becoming a pin bar on a smaller time frame. And I also see how it likes to bounce from this area. And we also explained it on that weekly time frame or on a daily time frame, how it plays and reacts at this level from 194 all the way to like about 200, right? And we see that it will break that. Go to the 2 hour. Oh, let me leave. Well, I'll leave it on the 2 hour and show you how you find more support and resistance, right? So on the 2 hour time frame, I'm seeing way more support and resistance. Also seeing a potential morning star, right? Before I try to get any of the support and resistance down here, I'm just gonna leave it alone because I have this one right here that's supporting it off of the wick. I'm not gonna try to bring it to the body of this candle, right? But I will take the top of this candle, right? We're gonna do these blue. I'll take the top of this candle and then I'm gonna look and see how it, it was some support right here. Support, and jumping back up. I didn't really like that one right there. I do like this one, how it gapped up, bull flag, and broke straight up. So I'm not gonna go look at no more past data for right now because I'm going smaller and smaller and smaller. So I'm gonna care about this past data because this past data is gonna break down for me, right? On a smaller time frame. So you can look at, this is how I draw my support and resistance, just the bodies of the candles. I can use that one, just like I'm looking at my targets. I can use that one, just the top of the bodies. It's so simple. And the reason I'm doing it like this is I don't want people to feel like it's so confusing to do it. It's not. Like you do that, that's it. And I'm using Alt H to do a shortcut and put it on there. Now that I have that support right there, you can see how it was support at one time, boom, broke down. You could come back. I'm not going back. I was going back more often to show you guys what I see and things of that nature, but I'm pretty sure you guys can now see like, okay, he's just going to see how many times it's tapping and see if the price is closing above it, closing below it, and how it's reacting on those levels, right? So I'm seeing that, and I'm going from the top down because I feel like it's gonna come reverse at a certain point. Why do I feel like that? It's because that's what the charts do. They die and they come back to life, right? Consolidation, right? Accumulation, bull flags, breaks up, goes to a breaks resistance, goes to another resistance. It dies, falls, actionable signals, tries to go back up, it dies again. But every single time it dies, it recovers. Dies, recovers. Dies, and it keeps dying, gapping down. It's not going to continue. I promise you. The market will keep going down, but it doesn't just fly down. It will boop, 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 boop. All right, bull's turn, take the price back up. And then that's when you get the market robs all the new traders, right? That start buying that resistance. So they think it's going to break this or break that. And we're in a bear market, right? Because once it starts going up, it's just bear flagging. That's the pole. Bear flagging, probably a double top, boom, to come right back down, right? Just like we've seen that right here. Coming down. Oh, it's going back up to resist. Oh, come right back down, right? Because it just double topped. And when you see that on a smaller time frame, it happens all the time, right? So
So hold on. I mean, but you said something that was kind of like that plays with your psyche, right? Because we're in a bear market. And you said that, hey, when we come to resistance, people getting calls because they know, like, look, we about to break resistance, but we're in a bear market, so it's coming back down. So is that more of a mental state because we're in a bear market and like, well, it's just a dead cat bounce. We coming back down anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're not in a bull market. Oh, this is cat. Let's take a spot. I've been hearing a lot of different things. I'm new, so I could be wrong on what I'm about to say. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm new to compared to like people that I study that have a lot of experience in it. I'm super new. But to me, we ain't in no bull market till we get to like about 4, and we're holding over 460. That's just me. I didn't hear people say like, oh, we're like 400 or this or that. Nah, bro, we're dying. We're on the bottom of the Browning formation, right? But I'm saying, let me look at this chart. See, Morningstar coming down. Let's just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think we're going into a recession. It just doesn't happen that fast. You know, like the pandemic just was over. How long was we in a pandemic? People were saying we were going to be out of the pandemic in the first year, right? And we're still in the pandemic. So, you know, we're in inflation right now. That's what's happening, right? Deflation hasn't even hit yet for recession to come. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and why I'm speaking that way is because I'm on a 3-month chart and I'm seeing the red. Like, look at SPY. I remember D'Angelo used to make me look at this, and it was when I was like 4 months into trading, 5 months, and he used to be like, bro, go look at the monthly chart. SPY is about to die, bro. We cannot keep running like this. And I mean, it's inevitable for it to happen. I'm just like, what do you mean? And then he's just showing me all these are crashes right here. 2020, 01, 02. I forget, bro. I don't be doing all my research on like the market, like, hey, what happened that month? I don't remember. I don't know. But I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not gonna be like, hey, it was the bombing in Washington, D.C. I don't know. But long story short, you see 07, there was something happened in the country, right? I forgot what happened in 07 through 09, but it was something major.
The Great Recession.
The Great Reset. There you go. Don't mind Moody, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all people, Moody's very different, bro. Like Moody very different.
Yeah, okay, I see it now. Because these are 3-month candles, so you're looking at 3 months of red. Okay, all right, it makes sense now. That's why you look at the 3 month. Yeah, all right.
Nah, bro, what you just said?
I said, well, you're on a 3-month time frame, so these candles. 3 months of data, right?
Yeah. Okay, I just
exactly. So that's why you were saying like these are crashes because these are 3-month candles. So it's been going down for 3 months.
Exactly.
You've just been having little dead cat bounces in the midst of those 3 months.
Yeah, and why specifically look at bigger time frames? It tells you what's going on. That's how I know Bitcoin gonna keep falling, right? Keep shorting it. We're gonna buy it back. Don't worry. I'm a believer in Bitcoin, baby. I wanted to go down there, man. I need some more accumulated before they buy it all up, right? But they ain't gonna buy it all up, not in our lifetime. But long story short, the Great Recession, like D'Angelo said. Then what happened in 2018, D'Angelo? I don't know.
I'm not certain on the top of my head, bro, but you know, I do some research on it.
I appreciate it. 2018 in October as well. And then I know what happened in 2020. That was a pandemic.
March 2020, the crash.
Yeah. I see you said the crash. I'm over here thinking pandemic, bro. But yeah, it was the crash of the pandemic. But you got the crash of the pandemic, right? What's happening now? For 3 months, we had an actionable signal, right? And this was in January 2022, right at the top of the year. But we dropped all the way down, then we started pushing back up, and everybody, no, it's gonna go bullish again, right? And came right back down. Me, I'm waiting for look, so you can see, right? Because each one. April, this candle right here is April 22nd. Look, I keep talking about quad witching and things of that nature, right? And I keep talking about July. Why do you think I'm waiting for July? Because that's the new 3-month candle, the new quarterly candle. Quad witching will happen as well. And I've seen quad witching is not always bearish. It can be bullish as well, right? It just all depends on what's going on in the market. But yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. But I know it'd normally be a bloodbath in July, but nothing's ever the same. Like how people probably thought this year was going to be super bullish because the last year in the past last year. No, you know, things change. So you have to adapt. You always have to adapt. And also we're eating at this PMG, right? All these PMGs. And look, all these targets that I got, they're only going for this candlestick. So if they break this candlestick's low, which they already did, they're going to this to stop everybody out. These are just like stop outs on smaller time frames. But they will go stop these people out. Once it gets 50% into this candle as well, it will come down, right? Because let's see, this wick right here, the top of this wick is where SPY is gonna bounce from. I need to stop talking like I be knowing that. Right here at 358.38. That's where it's gonna find some support and start bouncing. Why? Because it's price action. It's price action, baby. Right? We did it on CAT, but let me go back to CAT. And I've been talking about support and resistance, so I'm gonna just throw up QQQ. I'm pretty sure y'all can understand what I was trying to say. But look, what I'm gonna do with CAT. Look at CAT on a 3-month chart. Look at this. It's past. Let's just throw it up. Let me throw up the shot so you can see. Right here. Because now we're just talking charts. Let's bring the Fed. Hold on, it's gonna draw it on the thing. Let's bring it up, right? This is 2 up, right? 2 up. So this bar can go what? 3, because we went 2 up and we're failing and we're past 50% retracement. See that? That line right there, that's your entry point on bigger time frames, right? You enter, have time on your contract, you take profits right down here. Boom, you don't worry about these wicks because this wick right here took all those trades out. Took every single one of those trades out. This low was 179.67. This low was 179.34. So this low hasn't got taken out. So once this one gets taken out, this one's gonna get taken out too. Like bloop, bloop. You know what I'm saying? You could break it down. Start on bigger time frames and go smaller. Look, go to the weekly. Watch how it's just playing. Look, just broke straight through it. Go to daily. Watch how it plays. Boom, it didn't even play. It did. It played for a little bit. The red line right here. And see, funny thing is with that blue line at that 200 that I've been talking about, right? And I went to a bigger time frame, right? And that's why I've been going so hard. Like, this works on all time frames. Like, it's just levels. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're on a bigger time frame and the candlesticks are like how we were on the like monthly. And you see like big candlesticks and they're in between all of this stuff, bro, chart up your bigger time frame. It's gonna come to those levels. It's gonna come take those levels out and come up. It's gonna work on a smaller time frame as well. Anything that y'all ever saw on my chart, targets, this, that, came from a bigger time frame. And I try to explain it today, even with SPY, when I was like, man, I got it from the 30. I was doing it on my phone. And it was taking me forever because I was not on a computer where I can just go super quicker and back in time. We all know we got to scroll. So I try to do it on 5 minutes. So I get a whole bunch more, but it stopped me. It wouldn't let me keep going to like all the way to that year. So I had to get it from, I seen it gave it to me on an hour and then I went to the 30-minute and I was like, I don't even want to try on a 15 or something like that. I'm gonna just leave it right here on a 30. But what I was gonna do is let's take this down to a 5-minute time frame. Open it up and we're gonna find support and resistance in here. Because these are bigger supports and resistance. All the rest of all these lines, they're bigger support and resistance, right? So you want smaller ones, right? Resistance. Remember I say, we're gonna use a different color. Remember I say I use the bodies of the candles, right? Let's do pink. I use the bodies of the candles. And I'm liking how it is. Look, support, 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 break support, right? So we come up here, we take out this PMG. Right here, just like this one big candle took all those PMGs right there out. It's gonna do it up here, right? So that's the first support. First resistance that I see, us breaking, you have a support level. We're gonna leave all these yellow lines, right? But you do have a support level right here. Is the bottom of that body of the candle. And then you also have one right here at the tweezer bottom. The tweezer bottom pattern, right? The 2-1-2 reversal back up. And you can see it's correlating with your pin bar right here with the 2-2 reversal going right back up as well. So
what's PMG?
Pivot machine gun.
All right, my next question is what is that? But I'll Google it.
I love that. Definitely. What's your are you you in the group, right? I got you right now, bro.
Yeah, I'm in there.
What's your name?
It's Jared T. Ross.
I gotta get your voice on pat, bro.
It's good.
But PMGs, I'm gonna tag you so you can watch these videos, bro. But a P, you're not gonna watch the videos, you're too busy. But a PMG is a pivot machine gun, and it's higher highs or low series of higher highs and lower lows. So I'll show you let me show you my background right here. So you see a PMG right here where it's giving you higher lows, higher lows. The candlesticks are running back up, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. When it gives you that to the downside or even to the upside, right? One candlestick takes it all out, right? So if I take it over right here was a PMG. This low, I'm gonna leave that yellow line there, but you know, like connected to that wick.
I see it.
Yeah, this one candle takes a PMG. It does it. I call it a domino effect, and especially on a smaller time frame, it's going to do it quicker, right? But especially if you see it on a bigger time frame, like you see them things on like 4 hour, 3 hour, and like your candlestick is closed like right here. Closed like right there, and you can see like, look, I'm on a 5 minute. Let's take it to a 15 minute to look at it better, and you see it now. Bow, 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 bow. We seen it on a small, and I'll take it back to the 5 minute chart, how it did it, right? But now we have all these extra ones, and that's the PMG right there. But you see it better on a bigger time frame, but you see them happening quicker on a smaller time frame right here. Boom.
Okay, so what do we, if we identify one of those, how do we use that?
When you identify it, you will use the previous candle's high. And when I say that, the wick, not the body.
Gotcha.
You're gonna use the high of that candle for your entry point. So right here would help me. What would help me enter that trade is this 2-1-2 reversal, a 2 down. This color does not matter to me, or if it's red or green, because that's good. 1 bars are my entry points. I either enter puts right under this to continue a 2-1-2 to the downside, or a 2-1-2 reversal. This is a 2-1-2 reversal because you had a reversal right here where you were 2 down, 2 up, right? So it would have want to continuate to the upside, but it reversed right back down with a 2 down consolidation, tightening range on a 1 bar. Now, you enter, what you'll do is enter in at that break and you'll take it up, following the 2-1-2 reversal, and it's right here. 2 down,
okay.
1 entry point right here. Your first target will be the top of that 2, which the way I'm explaining it, it looks a little different. So that will be your target, right? Of course, but then the rest of these will be your targets as well.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moody, I have a question.
Absolutely.
When you're, I guess I would say specifically for scalping, when you're doing your support and resistance and your top-down analysis, like for example, I'll normally chart on the daily, I'll do the 4 hour and the hour. But as I'm trading, I notice that I start charting new support and resistance levels as, you know, things start to form on like the 5 minute or like the 3 minute or the 1 minute. Is that okay? Are those lines still valid even though they're just forming?
Yes. So, all right, take you over to this chart. All right, so this chart has some type of support and resistance, right? But it's through past data, I haven't erased it, so let's just believe it's there. Hey, Jared, Bitcoin, 5 minute chart, PMG right here. You see it? Boom, boom. 1 candle takes it all out. To answer your question, yes, they're still valid. So like, say I'm on this 5 minute chart and we have this support, and now we got this new candle, right? I'm using the previous candle, that too. That support is still valid. Let's take it to the 1 minute so you can see it. Look, it's already breaking. I'm saying support. I apologize. That resistance is still valid, right? But its target is right here. Let me draw it so you can see it. Take out. Let's make it red so we can know that was the target. Take it to the 1 minute chart because it's taking too long for me. It's bull flagging, right? Pole, flag. So what you'll want to do, I'm sorry, to answer your question, yes, they're still valid. Do you see? Oh, dang, it's just cat's not open. I like to do it live, but here, somebody was asking about QQQ because I know what you're talking about, and I'm gonna do what you're saying. I think you're doing this.
Yeah, like as I'm trading, I'll start to see like, okay, it's forming support here on like the 3 minute or the 5 minute, and then I'll chart that level.
Yeah.
So,
my bad. Go ahead. You good?
yeah. So I was just like wondering. I was like, I wouldn't like. Do they? I know it doesn't hold as much weight as my other support and resistance on like my 4 hour or like my daily, but it's okay to still play off of those and trade off of those.
Talk about that woman no more. She's still over there in Russia. They ain't been talking about her much.
Hey, bro, can you please mute your mic? I'm sorry. I apologize. Can you say what you were saying at the end?
Yeah, no, so I just wanted to make sure that my thought process and what I was doing was right. Like I chart my support and resistance prior to, but then as I'm trading, I find new support and resistance on the lower time frames when I'm scalping, and I'll start to chart those as I go.
Yes. So what I just did, I didn't do any, let me show you. I'm on the daily. I have a broad information, so don't worry about this yellow line on QQQ. But I drew some support and resistance right here, these two lines on the daily. And then you said you'll go to the 4 hour, right? And then you'll draw some support and resistance. Oh, that's why I didn't draw no support and resistance there because I really didn't see no support and resistance. I just seen rejection, but I'll just draw it because this is the support that I will see, and it's going to correlate. I didn't want to draw it on here because people want to see me do it on a like 1 minute chart, and this is going to correlate on a smaller time frame. And I don't know how to try to get people to understand that when you do it on a bigger time frame, it correlates. But what you just said, yes, you're not doing anything wrong, right? So now that I did that on a 4 hour time frame, I'm gonna take it down to a 3 minute time frame. And that's why I said I didn't want to use that one because it was just going to correlate to perfect. I already knew it. So let me take that off just so I can show you that you're not getting confused. So this is the one I drew, turn it off, go back to a 5 minute because I'm gonna draw it on there. I'm gonna see it regardless. It's right there, you see. But long story short, this is how you'll have your support and resistance. It's kind of far out and you're like, wait, but I see more support and resistance. Yes, you do, right? Because I'm gonna just draw it quickly right here. Right here. I drew it off of this one I drew off of all this rejection up here. I didn't go off of none of this stuff right here. I seen that this is a range where it plays and it broke out. So I want that range. And I'm also seeing where it's correlating right here. It's not perfectly, but I see that, hey, it keeps rejecting, it goes down right there. It's rejecting, it broke, stood over it, rejected, tested, came right back down. I'm seeing all that rejection right there. So I like that as well. So you're doing exactly what I would do, right? And I see some that happen right here. Ooh, dang, I moved it too quickly. Right here. And I'm going off of this bar. I don't really like it that much. So I'm gonna bring it more so like, and I'm looking to the left. Like I'm right here in front of that bar, right here, but I'm looking over here and trying to see like which one evens out more. Mm-hmm. Like with more of the bottoms of the bodies. Like I don't care if it's the close or the open. And when I say close or open or close, it's going to be the red candle closing down and the opening on support to go back up. That's what I would like to see. And I like it like this, how I have it now. And it's going off of this one now instead of that one. So is that like what you just saw me do on your chart? Like say it's live, is that what you're doing? Like, wait, I see some more. Yeah, you're doing
that makes sense. Like what you said, like I find myself trading when I'm scalping, I find myself trading more off what I'm actually charting at the moment than my other support and resistance on my larger time frames because they're so far apart. So as the bars are moving, I'm finding new support, new resistance, and I'm like scalping like that.
Exactly. And then this is why I didn't do it here, but this is why like when you're charting on these bigger time frames, you wanted these pink ones or whatever to be a different color. right? Because that's what I learned from Sarah Sniper, watching her when she's starting from the weekly. That's why I used to always use weekly on pink and stuff like that. But now I know that level, right? But it literally tells you like, okay, cool. If we just went to this purple line, that means I just trigger daily, right? If we just, and I have it on my chart now. So it's like, I don't have to do certain things where I have it like, because when I didn't have this kind of stuff, when I was using the first, I think it was like Candu type strat, it didn't have the weeklies and the dailies or the 15-minute opening prices and things of that nature. So I know like, okay, if we break this, if we go up here, we just got to the high of day, right? And I know that if we break it with volume, we're going to continue to go up, especially if it's like 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, or even 1 o'clock. We have so much more time, right? But I'm glad that you brought that up. The reason I say that, Apple.
I got a question for her, Moody, real quick, bro.
Real quick, because I don't want to forget this, bro. My apologies.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. No, good. Go ahead.
On a daily, like I always, how you just saw me mark up support and resistance, this is very, very detrimental. Nobody, I don't want to say nobody wanted to teach me this, but like the person that I was learning from taught me this and I came to understand that you should have told me some more stuff about this. So as I'm charting the support and resistance on this last candle with the top being not the body of the candle, not the wick, and then the bottom of the body of this one. One thing that I would want you to always remember, now that we take it to a smaller time frame, 5 minutes, and we want to day trade, this is your range. It's support and resistance to your previous candle. So this is your range. This is also on the strat world, your entry and your for your calls or your puts. But I don't want to put a number to it, but I want to tell you the truth. 7 times out of 10, that is gonna reverse once it hits up there, right? Because it's the previous high of the previous day, right? So if they don't have buyers there, if your RSI is not over your median, don't go for it, right? Let it trigger and let it retest. When you're using bigger time frames, and I should explain that. Thank you for Gala. I fucks with you. You made my brain start like tweaking. When you're doing these bigger time frames, understand that they hold more weight, but you want to see those candles close above, right? And you can see it on a smaller time frame, like if we're there already, like how these are closing above, now it's pushing up. That's what you want to see, right? So what Gala said, when you're charting these, like how I did cat, and it's just like you seen the yellow line was up there and down there and all the way down there, and I found more support and resistance on a smaller time frame. You want to be, I really didn't. I started talking about the PMG. Here, I deleted it. But what you call it?
Color code your support and resistance based off like, okay, these are my weekly main support and resistance, my daily and my intraday.
Yeah.
Okay. That
Thanks. You're welcome. You helping me teach, man. I need you on a board.
I just started.
I'm gonna want to really teach you. I love people that just started and it's just clicking for them, because you already have the mindset of like, bro, I can learn this. You know what I'm saying? And I always try to tell people, I tell my cousin this all the time, where he just be like, he be killing Kroger sometimes. And he'd be like, nah, bro, you the professional. Bro, I be like, bro, I'm not no professional. You a professional too, if you want to think about it that way. Like, you put me on this stuff. And I'm always trying to tell him, like, if you think that it's going to happen for you in a year, it's going to take a year. That's what you're manifesting. If you just believe that it's going to happen for you and you have a crazy amount of faith and you put some will behind that, you're going to be great. My bad, D-Wiz, you had a question to ask Gala.
Yeah, so my question is, do you find yourself feeling like you're overcharting when you do that? Like, meaning, like, do you find yourself feeling like you have too many support and resistance lines on your chart when you go to those lower time frames? Like, it's kind of overwhelming to some degree.
Well, the thing is that, and like what Moody mentioned, like when I chart like on the daily, I do daily 4 hours and let's say hourly. Those resistance and support lines, when I'm actually trading off of like the 1, the 3, or the 5 minute, they don't look so close together to where it's messing up. Like it doesn't look sloppy on my, you get what I'm saying? Because they're so far apart. So that's why at that moment, I just kind of like what I've been doing and what's been working for me when I'm scalping is that I'm charting my support and resistance as I'm going, as I see the candles forming. And that's what I'm trading off of. And I mean, so far it's been working, but I do still chart my higher time frames. Like today I caught AMD on the downside. It broke the weekly support and it flushed. And I'm glad that I had charted that. Sometimes I don't even chart my weekly, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out, because I know when I began, like I would do the same thing and then I would kind of feel overwhelmed because I felt like I had too many support and resistance lines, but I was learning a bunch of stuff at the time. So, okay.
No, but I'm glad you just said that because it's helping me like speak better. Why? Because it's just the terminology we use in trading. You know how she just said she looks at her weekly or does this, but she doesn't chart her weekly like that, right? I guess I'm not charting my weekly. I'm just getting a target off of there. Like, just throw me a stock. I can't think right now. Ford.
Moody.
Yeah.
Moody. Chart SPX for yesterday and today.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
Do it as if you're scalping it. Don't start all the way up. Well, yeah, maybe.
I know what you're trying to tell me, Ms. D.
All right.
I know exactly what you're trying to say. And I appreciate you actually saying it that way and being direct like that, Ms. D, because what I'm doing is the same thing on a smaller time frame, but if you're new, you're not going to understand that. So it's best for me to just do it on a smaller time frame. And I appreciate you. So SPX, right? If I'm if I was scalping it, see, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do on the new data, but let me just show you support and resistance on how I would look at it. We gap down, right? So the first support that it came down to was right here. The bottom of this chart. So the bottom of this candlestick. So now it is support, but the way I'm going to look at it is resistance, right? And it's just because I'm seeing it in past data. So I'm going to just speak on like what I'm seeing, right? But long story short, is resistance because I'm seeing now rejection, and it also double top off of a morning star, right? Because I'm on a 5-minute chart, so I have to respect these patterns quicker. You know what I'm saying? Like, say if you're seeing these patterns on a bigger time frame, it has more time to do what it needs to do to be able to break its pattern for resistance or support, right? So I'm gonna just drop the support and resistance on how I see it. The bottom of this candle, this tweezer bottom that I see right here, because it's a reversal, and I'm also seeing this in its range. This is a range, right? Now I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna grab this support right here, and I may change it, right? And I'm just looking at these candles. Now I'm going over here to see how they look, and I'm gonna fix it a little bit. Let me put this a little bigger so you can see why I'm gonna fix it. It's because it's flush over here, right? This is past data though, and I'm on a 5-minute time frame, so I need better support and resistance. So as I'm looking over here, it's going like not through the middle of these candles, but they're going through the bodies, right? I don't want them to go, I want them to be under the bodies, right? So I'm gonna just try to come and fix it a little bit more so on this side, so I can have more of a better resistance over here. So what I'm gonna do is bring it down to the bodies of these and see how it looks. Bring it down here. I like how it looks. It looks a little more flush with these, right? I like that. Now I'm gonna try to find another level. The next level that I'm seeing is on the bottom of this tweezer bottom, right? I'm gonna draw right there, and also look at the past data, how it correlated. It bounced, cool. I'm gonna leave it just like that. Come over here and see how it's rejecting over here. It's rejecting pretty nicely. So now I am done with this whole entire level right here. On a smaller time frame, I can find some more levels, right? I'm done with this, but all these wicks are targets, right? The only reason these are targets is because none of these candles, you don't have no candle that has come up and taken out any of these levels up here, right? So they're still active. This PMG that has formed right here is still active. You'll see that PMG better, possibly on a 30-minute or 15-minute right there. right? So bring it back to the 5 minute. Now I'm gonna play with these candlesticks because we already got our levels over here. So I'm gonna bring it down right here. Only reason why is because I'm cheating, and I know that this candle, I seen the yellow line, and I seen this was his opening price. So I'm gonna leave it right there. I kind of like that, but I'm gonna bring it down lower so I can get these wicks, but I went with this body, right? Before I even go over here, I'm gonna try this one out. This tweezer bottom that it gave me right here, and give it some support right here because it found support and it ran up, right? Let's see how it reacted over here. Rejection, rejection, good rejection, right? Closed, right? It's in the middle of this one, but I like it. I'm gonna leave it there. Now I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna come find some more support right here. I like this support better than this support, right? Because it started finding some support there and bouncing off of this actionable signal, right? Boom. Now I like it right here, and I'll show you on past data how it's going to correlate back there, right? I like that one, and then I also like the bottom of this body because it's correlating right here, and it's a lot. When I'm saying correlating, it's just tapping with other ones as well. If I use the red one, the red one's dope too. It's straight. Let me see. I'll see which one I like better. I like the red one better. The reason why I like the red one better is because it's giving more room, right? Because I'm seeing this reverse right here with the 2 down, 2 1 is giving more room, and I'd rather use this support. Now you also have a support right here, right? And it's going to be the body of this candle. I'm gonna draw it, but I like the bottom, the one on the bottom of the tweezer bottom right here, right? Now that I drew that all on a 5 minute time frame, I know where my levels are going. I know where the price is going to go on a smaller time frame. Thank you, Ms. D. On a smaller time frame, right? And now that I know that, I can use the strat to help me with that, right? With the combo sheets being on my screen, right? Print it out if you need to for it to help you. And that's what I'm going to use, but I'm also gonna know the trend of the day. Like, are we going down? But just like Gala was saying that it continues to change, even though you know the trend of the day, these smaller time frames has its own trend. It's its own world, right? It's on a downtrend, but right here, right? This was a minimum uptrend. This was a bag, if you caught it, right? That was a huger bag. This was a bag too. They're just waves, right? So intraday trading, I'm gonna always say bigger time frames hold more weight, and it's correct. But as you've been hearing, like say Gala speaking, or even Ms. D, and how she was just like, don't start on a bigger time frame. Well, she didn't want to tell me what to do, but it was good that she told me to do that. Why? Because now you can see that it aggregates and it has its own little world. It's gonna have uptrends and downtrends on there, and the strat helps me, right? But you can also use candle patterns to help you as well. Because that's all you're going to see too. Like any patterns that you see on a smaller time frame, you're going to see it here. Let's try to look for patterns. Morning star pattern, right? Inverted head and shoulders that kind of failed. Let's see if it failed. I'm not really looking at it. I just saw it. Shoulder, head, shoulder. I drew that shoulder kind of ugly. I should have started it from right here, right? And it's not that it failed, it just hasn't, the PMG's right there for it. It just hasn't exploded yet. The market's closed. We got to see if it even wants to do that, right? You got another shoulder. Let me draw it like this so you can see it. Shoulder, head, shoulder. These took it up, right? You also have like your regular, let me delete this. And does anybody have any questions? And Ms. D, I got a question. Do you think that this was a better explanation?
Yes, but I actually wanted you to show them from the day before. You pulled it up, and I wouldn't have put that many lines on, but yes.
Okay.
And
cool.
one thing you guys should know is that a lot of that is consolidation. You have that on a 5 minute chart right now. So if you know that you're consolidating in a tight range, then you know not to go too far out for your strike. And you also, you'll have a better chance of getting out and into your trade at the appropriate place.
Gotcha. I didn't know you specifically wanted me to do it on a certain way, and I'm more than positive.
You pulled it up, back out of your, I'm sorry. It's there, you already have it. Can you make that smaller? Because you have this the day before it in that chart.
What's today's date?
Go to the left.
Today is the 16th. So you
No, that's it. Just go to the left. It's there. It's just gap down.
You want 3 days before.
No, that's.
Oh no, the 15th is right here. Mom, yeah.
Okay,
right.
go to the beginning of the day.
Right here.
Right. So all just if you guys looked at in the, I don't know how many hours that is that it traded within a certain range. Can I see what? Oh, that's 9:30. From 9:30 to 2 o'clock. From 9:30 to 2 o'clock, it traded within a certain range, right? So your support and your resistance, you could have just put that in a range there and traded in between those two things. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I don't understand what you're saying. What I'm understanding is
from 9:30.
Something that I did not chart. I charted this. So you
did. I asked you for the first 2 days, and I was just saying that. Never mind. You did it fine.
I get you, but I'm saying you're being very anal about that. I missed the first day. I forgot. I'm human. I could try this.
No. It's no problem. I was just trying to show you, or show them rather, that at one point your support turned into your resistance the following day. And if you just if they just chart a range, they can trade within that range for a few hours, a few days, whatever, depending on how you're charting it. That's all I'm showing you.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like right here, how I just did, don't even worry about, well, I'll leave out, and I did less lines because you said I did too many lines down, or you didn't say I did too many lines. You would have not done so many lines, but I'm just showing people more minimum support and resistance, because I was going to take it down to a smaller time frame. But long story short, I'm gonna just use these 2 lines just to show exactly what you were saying. Yes, you can do that. You can also do that off a daily chart, just using the daily chart and using that range where, and I'll just do it on a different stock so everybody can see that as well. But using these 2 lines right here, you don't have to, like what I was doing, oh, I got this support right here. You don't have to do none of that, right? I'm scalping, and I also am having a class on support and resistance. So I want to show that there's more supports and resistance and how you can trade it or chart it up on your chart. But like Ms. D is saying, you can have a good support and resistance, which this is a good resistance and this is a good support, and you don't have to draw any more lines in here, and you can just trade the range. When it gets to a high and you're using your RSI on a smaller time frame, go ahead and short. It comes right back down to your median, right? And the median is where it's going to flirt, and it's going to let you know, hey, are we going to consolidate here, or are we going to break down to go on the downtrend, or are we going to bounce to go back on an uptrend, which it decided to double bottom right here and then go back up on an uptrend, right? So excuse me. And then it did it again where it came right back down, but this time it broke the median a little bit. Did it? Yep. Broke the median just a little bit, came right back, broke back over. So yes, what you're saying is, well, you don't have to have multiple charts on the lines, right? And also just to make it clear to everybody, I'm just like trying to like show y'all how to do certain things. I'm not trying to big myself up, but I don't do none of this when I trade. When I trade, my chart's like this, and I draw a couple of things and I go to my 1 minute chart, right? Because I've been trading for a while, and I go ahead and scout, and exactly what Ms. D says, I take the range, right? There's a range right here, and that's support and that's resistance. You could put your support even lower down here because you have some more, right? But I wouldn't want to do that because I see this range right here where you could get stopped out at, right? So I'm gonna wait for anything in here, catch it and run it back up and come right back down on a put if I want to continue to go up and down on it. But that's what I do. I teach people what helped me become successful and what you should teach people, like chart on bigger time frames, work your way down, do this, and things of that nature. And I just feel like it's helped me be successful, right? So that's why I teach it that way. But if you want to know how Moody trades, Moody's going to throw up a 1 minute chart. Moody's going to look at the daily and all of that stuff, but Moody's going to throw up a 1 minute chart, and he's going to scout the heck out of it, and he's going to make his money in a couple of minutes, and he's going to be done with the market. But I also understand that not everybody wants to take 10 or 20%.
So Moody, I feel like I'm the same way. Like I've been trading for like a month now, and I like scalping. Like I think that's my thing. So would you say when scalping, is it better to just, I guess I know it's important. I look at the daily time frame and I chart my way down, but just kind of concentrate more on my charting on the lower time frames, because I only really chart like when I prepare the night before or the morning of, I'm charting up to like the hour. And then like I told you, then I find myself while I'm trading charting my 3 minute, my 1 minute or my 5 minute levels. Do you think it's better for me to chart those levels prior to, or what I'm doing is okay?
Say that one more time. I ain't gonna lie, I'm just a little, and I'm gonna say why I'm frustrated, but I'm just a little frustrated. But say that one more time so I can listen to you.
Is it better for me to chart? I don't chart when I'm getting ready for the next day. If I'm charting the night before or the morning of, I only chart up to my 1 hour. Do you think it's better, because since I like to scalp, that it's better for me to just concentrate more on my lower timeframes, my 1, my 3, my 5, and chart those beforehand, or just chart them as I go, which is what I'm doing now?
Chart beforehand on a bigger time frame so you can know your range, right?
Yeah.
Like your hour, like you're choosing. It's better to do it on an hour, right? Like Ms. D was saying, since we're talking intraday trading. Now I was talking on swings and everything else. Like when I first started the class, I was saying that. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude to you, Ms. D, but I will say what I want to say in a second. But long story short, definitely chart like on an hour, or you could do it even on a 30-minute, because you're going to be scalping, right? So do it on an hour and a 30-minute, or just choose the 30-minute and then work your way down. When I'm saying work your way down, just look at what's happening, right? Like say if I'm on a 30-minute right here, I'll just do it on the chart. I don't like the way this chart looking, but I like the break right here. And I'm using this wick because I'm seeing these inside bars right here, right? So I'm gonna give myself the opportunity to get that. I'm using the bottom of this candle, not the wick, but it is testing, right? So say you just draw it up on your 30-minute like this, and you have your range now that you want to trade, and you go down to like your 5-minute, you have your range, right? And you could just go ahead, you can delete this one, or you could keep it, because this range, that line is going to respect it, that level, and it's going to do something, or it's going to break down and come to this level and then break right back up. But now you have your range where you can trade. And even if you're taking it down to like a 3-minute, you have your range that you can trade, and you just mark up your supports and resistance here. Excuse me. I wouldn't even, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't mark up support and resistance here, just take targets. Because I'm gonna be using a strat, right? So I'll just take targets to go right back down. And I chose to go down because I'm seeing a reversal happen like right here, and it is a smaller time frame, so it doesn't hold that much weight, but it can happen quickly on a smaller time frame. But it can TTO to the bottom, and TTO is just a triangle day out corrective activity. And without does that answer your question?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Hey, who there?
You're more than welcome. And real quick, I don't know who's trying to talk. MSD, I know, I'm not sure if you, I don't think you're trying to be rude, but one thing that I will say, because it's on my heart right now, and I don't hold my tongue for anybody, and please don't take this disrespectful, because you could be my mom or my grandmother, right? But long story short, I just feel like when you jump on my classes, because I see when you jumped on other things, it's like you're picking, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you're coming here to learn or something of that nature. And I'm just trying to teach somebody something. And it just feels like you're always trying to like, oh, but you know, I would do this and I would do that. That's okay. If you, whatever you want to choose to do, that is fine. You're a trader, right? I'm not trying to sway you to do anything differently or something of that nature. Your feedback is more than welcome. I love constructive criticism or great feedback, but I do in my spirit feel like you're always trying to attack. And that's all I have to say, but somebody has something to say.
Hey, yesterday, how did you know that, like y'all was talking about, I was at my son's football practice, but it was like when y'all was doing the scratch and you was talking about one time frame, it was gonna be this number 2, and then on the other time frame, it was gonna show something different. Like how y'all was doing it live yesterday on that Bitcoin or whatever y'all was doing yesterday. Do you remember when you said, oh yeah, it's gonna be this on this time, it's gonna be like a little week or something. And it was like it was showing 2 different things, but you were picking up what it was doing. You understand what I'm saying?
I kind of do, but I don't remember what you're talking about. I do remember jumping.
Okay, I don't know if it was y'all was
I
on
know what
live?
I know what you're talking about, Moody. You talking about when we was on I think that was the day with Jordan. He was trading something. We was on talking about crypto, and I was on the 1 minute. You was on the 15. You was on the 3, and I was like, yeah, it's about to hit
How y'all
support.
do that?
And back.
How you know?
So yeah, he talking about different time frames. You know, basically.
As it was moving, and that was kind of dope to see y'all do that, and I was kind of getting lost, but I could see that y'all was picking up some things that when it was trading live, and you was y'all was really picking up some things, and y'all was feeding back on each other. I don't know how y'all was doing that, how you could tell the camera was gonna be different, was gonna show something different on a different time frame. Like it would have been a 2 up, and then you say, well, on this time frame, it's gonna be a pin bar. Some junk he was doing, I couldn't keep up with it. Y'all was moving so fast.
Yeah, I do remember that. And I actually recorded all that. So I just been extremely busy, but I will be, because I'm uploading this one as well. I'll upload the other 2 because I remember what you was talking about now. I did like just a market overview, and then just talked about charts, and then we started bringing up Bitcoin. I had jumped off the live, and I had jumped right back on, and I recorded that one as well. But it's gonna triangle day out, what I was talking about earlier. So I put this on a 3 minute, this is on a 5 minute. I'm trying to see what we were talking about. I don't remember, to be honest with you. I remember what you're talking about, but I don't remember specifically the candlesticks and what was happening. Like, you know what I'm saying? I
rephrase the question. So if you was trading something and it was you was on a 15 minute and the candle was a 2 on, what would you expect it to be on a 30 minute kind of time frame? Like I don't heard even the other day Sarah talking about that. It could be a certain 2 down on one candle, and then it might be an inside bar. How do you know that in your mind without even going to that time frame? Because it seemed like you knew the candle was going to show a different candle. It's going to be different on a different time frame before you even went to it. And it was that.
I know what you're talking about now. I remember what you're talking about. Bro, that just be happening in the moment. But the reason I know is just experience. And it's just understanding candlesticks and understanding time frames where let me try to find something. Remember this doji right here, right? Let me try to see, because I know what you're talking about, like seeing an inside bar, but it's not an inside bar in a smaller time frame. Bitcoin's not doing that right now to show me that. 3 hour, let's go to 1 hour. Bitcoin's not showing me that. But I know what you're talking about. But that just goes with my experience of me like understanding the time frames and understanding candlesticks, really, bro. I don't know how to, it's just my experience.
I gotta get used to.
Huh?
Yeah, it's something you gotta get used to, I guess. But it was kind of dope to see that yesterday, and I was like, dang, they even know it before they even go to the time frame it's gonna be showing this. That's crazy. Yeah.
I want to say,
I just want you to know, I did pull the trigger this week too.
Yeah.
It got too happy, and so just got too happy that I was winning, and so too early. It could have been a monster play, but it just I did pull the trigger, and then I did lose another one at Apple.
Look, check it out. I'm sorry to cut you off. Right now, this is a 2 down right here, right? 2 down inside bar on a 1 minute chart. Yeah, 1 minute and 3 minute chart. Two down, right? So like it's just me looking at the charts and looking at the candlesticks and seeing what's gonna happen. I think that this is gonna go 2 down on a 1 minute chart. That's just what I do see the PMG up here, but you know, it just reverse gave the 2 down, 2 up, right? But it's been consolidating here a lot, right? So we just gotta wait and see. Look, boom, 2 down, told you. But you see how it just went back up because it's consolidating here. I'm just looking at the past data and seeing what's happening on that level, right? So we have to get past this level we have to, and I'm looking at it from this candlestick and it's correlating right here. I have to get past this level for it to start actually running.
Going up.
Yeah.
So you doing, are you anticipating things, or are you just waiting until it form, or you just anticipating that it's gonna do this, and if it do what you think it's gonna do, that's when you react?
I do both. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. You know, I'm just human, so a lot of times, majority of the times, I'm trading what I see. If it triggers, I enter. If it doesn't trigger, I don't enter. But sometimes I do, you know what I'm saying? Like how I said, I believe it was gonna go down. If I just think that, you know, I just have confidence in myself, and I just look at the chart as well. And I'm just seeing the 3-minute chart is coming down, right? On the RSI, I'm looking at the chart. It already went down, now it's about to break back to down. If we break this level right here, you can see it with the price action. This doji is correlating with the top of this resistance, right? Once we break this level, it comes down to this level.
And that's on the 1 minute, right? That's
on the 3 minute, and this is the 1 minute.
Okay.
And you can see how on the 1 minute right now is already breaking that level. You can see it wicking back up, but it's holding right there. So we need to break now past this for it to go up. If it doesn't pass this level, we don't go up.
So if you was trading this, you would get out. So if you was trading it, you would just get out on that on the counter that you already got marked on the one before that, you already had that yellow line on. You just be out right now.
You saying where if I entered in, like when I first was saying on the one, like basically what you're asking me is if I entered in when we first started talking and it's going down, you're asking me if I'm still in the trade or if I would have been out the trade?
Yeah.
I'll still probably be in this trade because it didn't hit my target and it's not giving me, it just depends. This is Bitcoin, so it depends on my lot size. Because I trade Bitcoin on MT4. So if I had a huge lot size, just depends. No, I wouldn't be out that trade because I'll probably be breaking even or something.
So your target would be that yellow line you got.
I wouldn't say that would be my target because that line was already there. My target would be that bottom of this candle and the bottom of that yellow line right here. So yeah, okay. The yellow line like right there, that'll be my target. And they already took these targets out. It's a nice head and shoulders on the 1 minute, broke its neckline at the purple line basically, and it's coming down. And it's going to continue to go down because my 3 minute is telling me that, right? It's not even giving me a 3 bar or anything. It is pushing down. If I take it over to my 5 minute, it just got down. My 5 minute still got a whole 1 minute to go. So, and look, it's getting closer and closer to take out this target, which is this target that I was talking about, right? And look how it gapped. So yeah, you're almost out your trade. And you can see it on your 5 minute, no wick anymore, still pushing down.
That's great.
Easier to trade when you're scalping with, well, for me, I don't do it all the time, but if I'm trading in my office, I'll trade like that. But if I'm on my phone, I'm just hopping from time frame to time frame.
If it's playing with your like if you set a stop loss and take profit and it's playing with your take profit, like not hitting it, is it good enough to just jump out right then and there, or should you wait?
Say that one more time.
Like when you set a stop loss and a take profit, and you see it like going to your take profit, but not really trying to hit it, should you just jump out right then and there? You understand what I'm saying? Because I've had that happen a couple times. I've had it reverse on me, and sometimes it's gone, but it gives me heart palpitations when it's just hovering.
Yes, I tend to take my profits a lot before it hits my actual target at times. And it's just because of what you're saying, it can reverse, right? And it really just depends, like how much I'm up on profits, like, and how I feel that day, to be honest with you, like if I'm feeling risky or not. But if I haven't been hitting my goals, or like I'm trading and it's just like, hey, I look at my P&L and everything like that, and it's just like, hey, I hit my goals for 3 months, but now 3 months has come. Like, no, I'm gonna be conservative and make my money. I'm going to try to make my 300. I tell people 300 or 500, but 300 to whatever I want to make. But my goal to do is $300 or $500. But no, I tend sometimes not to wait for that. Like say if I see 15% and it's just like, it's about to hit my target, what I tell myself to like mentally just have sticky notes everywhere on my computer. I don't know if you can see this, but it says, don't get greedy. It says, don't get greedy, get out. Right. So I just have mental notes for myself where it's like, I'll see that and also see that it didn't hit my line, like say like right here, and be like, okay, cool. How much is that away? 47 cents to 33 cents. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get my bag. But then it also depends on how much in profits I am. Like if I'm up like 100 and something percent or 50 something percent, like I'm thinking Bitcoin right now in Forex. So I'm not thinking options, but now I'm just gonna let that guy ride because I have a stop loss on it already. But if I'm deep in profits in something and I'm swinging or something like that, I let it ride. But if I'm scalping, I don't let nothing ride. If I'm day trading, I don't let nothing ride. And that goes to like, if anybody seen my trades, like I lost 3 trades back to back. That don't ever happen. But I know why. And it's because I've been shying away from like certain things that I do, like dealing with other people's emotions and things of that nature. And like trying not to trim and stuff like that. And I know how I trade. I know that I can make anywhere between 10 to 30% in a matter of 10 to 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, no, I'm trying to hit some home runs, but I understand that about myself. So now that I know that, now that I know I'm going back to what I was doing. If that makes sense.
Yes, thank you.
I have one more question, sorry.
No, you're good.
I just want to make sure
Look, I know my energy is a little low. I just had to like release that. And I'm gonna just apologize, Ms. D, if I came any type of way, but I just can't stand people like trying to come at me. But let me bring my energy back up. Go ahead. I don't know who, I think it was Gala speaking again.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that my thought process was like the way I'm thinking about it is correct. So like when I'm scalping and let's say I'm on the 1 minute, you know how like everything's moving fast. And what I do and what I think, and I don't know if this is right, is like if I'm scalping and let's say that I'm on puts and then I start seeing like the little green candles form. But then I'll go on to my 3 minute, my 5 minute, sometimes even my 15 minute. And I'm like, okay, we're still bullish. Like I have a strong candle here, like the volume is good. I think like, okay, that makes me stay in the trade because the 1 minute is moving so fast that it can fake me out. Is that the correct way of thinking?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Because what you just said, like when you go into your 5 minute, your 15 minute, you're seeing this candle right here, bullish still. What you're seeing on that 1 minute and 3 minute is that wick. Okay. That price action. You're seeing like, look at this wick right here where I'm circling, but look at this chart. This is the 1 minute chart. Look at where it's circling at.
Okay.
Dang, it's not doing it perfectly. Hold on. This is the wick right here. Right? And look at the line over here. That's the range that was faking you out. You see it? And all it did was consolidate, consolidate, consolidate. Bull flag. But you don't see it on the 5 minute.
Okay, so yeah, so I kind of look on to those time frames to like, and I noticed that it helps me stay in my trade longer because you know, versus me just looking at the one I would have gotten out, but then I'll look at those time frames and I'll be able to stay in and make some more profit.
Yeah, facts. I'll give you a gem. I love the 1 minute. That's just where I learned how to trade. And that's how I taught myself how to trade. But it messed up my psyche. And the gem that I'm gonna give you is I'm in love with the 5 minute and the 15 minute chart. CJ made me start loving the 3 minute chart as well, right? For like different confirmations and stuff like that. But the reason I love the 5 minute and 15 minute, this is the 5 minute, is because it does look at the 1 minute. This is the 1 minute on this side. This fuck with your psyche.
Yeah, it's true.
Like it's gonna mess with your psyche because you're just like, bro, just go down. What the hell? Damn. That I'm just going off of like what happened to me trading the 1 minute, right? Until I like really became okay with it. Like I know to let this flag all the way down. I'm seeing it TTO on triangle day out. And what I mean by triangle day out,
I definitely like the 3 minute. I've been scalping more on the 3 minute. I'd be looking at the 5 minute a lot too. So
yeah, but yeah, like how you see it just stays long. Like the candles are, they're better to me on the 5 minute and the 15 minute. And it just like, it's like they take turns. Green, 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 red, 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 green, green, green. You'll get a red, but you know, like if it's going green, green, you know, it's like, oh, pull back. But that's just what I tell myself, right? Because I also go with the strat. I don't see a reversal. This one 2 up, this is 2 up, this is 2 up, right? I'm not gonna get scared out my trade because this is red, because I know I can have a red 2 up and then continue 2 up. This one went 2 down, but actionable signal, pin bar, bull flag, actionable signal on the flag, right? And the flag is gonna be, you don't even see it as a flag here. What you see is the morning star starting to develop right here. Actionable signal, morning star, bullish reversal, 3 white soldiers.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. Oh, then PMG, 1 candle, take it all out. Let me stop. Cup and handle. I just really like charts. All right, let me get to this chat before I jump on.
Yeah, also those that the Jordan started using, well, he didn't start, but I started using it, took it from him, his pivot, I think it's pivot high low indicators, like is amazing. Definitely keeps me in the trade on the 3 minute without having to look at the higher lows and the lower highs for confirmation as far as price action. That definitely like helps a lot, builds your confidence and all of that.
Yeah, facts. Let me read these questions. Not at all. Keep getting through these 3 pages of hours. Not at all. Keep getting through these. Oh, yeah, be funny. As someone who trades both, it's up to you really. Funds is key as well. Forex can be traded for less than options. Correct. The technical analysis are the same, but fundamentals are different. Yes. When you're trading in Forex, it's completely different than the stock market. Forex is the whole global world, your whole entire economy. Stock market is more so business. But yeah, if you enjoy candlesticks and you really like candlesticks and you're a profitable trader, I would tell you what D'Angelo told me to do. Go trade crypto, go trade Forex. It'll change your life because you're not dealing with time decay. You're not dealing with the Greeks at all, none of those metrics. And I haven't even been trading like that. I've been taking some losses on my trades, but it hasn't been bothering me because I'm short in Bitcoin and short in Ethereum. And that's all I'm like really focusing on right now. Forex, let me trade it, yes. Kate, yes, Pam. Kate, all right, OMG, it's clicking, thanks. That was 208. Man, I appreciate that it's clicking. Thank you for letting me know. That's all I really care about. I thought that was the mortgage crisis, 2008. Oh, look, I should have been here. Y'all was trying to get me right. When the EMA crosses, okay, we're going to teach y'all. Okay, laughing out loud, PMGs, a series of lower lows and a downtrend and higher lows and a uptrend. Thank you for, yeah, I've been saying it wrong. Thank you for correcting me, D-Wiz. Can you point out which is a PMG? Sure, look, there's a PMG right here on a 1 minute chart. These are higher lows, right? One candle would take it all out. I showed it, I actually showed it right here. I forgot I did. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. The morning star came and it took out all of these higher lows. See, this PMG right here. Can you please mute your mic? Appreciate you. All right. Wow, that was so good, especially since you just started facts. Yeah, I think she's talking about Gala facts. I saw you post a big what the strength of candles when they're hitting a support and resistance. Can you show a couple examples? Because sometimes it passes a support resistance hold and the reversal quickly. Yeah, I can show an example, but I know what you mean. that's just the chart. It's just, that's what I be telling people. Like, well, I don't know, because I could be thinking about it differently, Kate. I think you're talking about, I think I know exactly what you're talking about. It was one of these. No, it's not this one. It's up. Oh, it's right here. I think he's talking about this. Right. I'll show that in a second. Let me just read through this so I don't have to keep coming back here. Love it. Moody got an assistant. Oh, you stupid. Love it, D. I think sometimes we are over charting and it gets overwhelming. Yes, absolutely. Everybody, even I overchart at times. That's just nature. Good job, Moody. We all appreciate you. Appreciate that. Appreciate you as well. Don't let her drag your energy, bro. I can't read. I can't read. Change after they change with her. Yeah, I know. You can see my energy. I just got calm, bro. I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll be real. I don't care to speak about it. I don't enjoy haters. I don't enjoy negativity. I don't enjoy people that see something great happening and it's just like, oh, but this, oh, but it's like, bro, just shut up. Like seriously. And see, now I'm getting out of character. But like, that's just, I don't care if you're a woman or a man. I'm not going to deal with the negativity. Like, I'm a very positive person. I go out my way to make sure that people, I don't have to freaking be on here all the way till 10:30. I could be on here for 1 hour and y'all don't even know that. Right. And that's just, it's really disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, bro, you old as, like, you could be my mom or my grandmother, like, for God's sake. Like, why are you trying to tear me down? Look what I'm doing. Like, I'm a very positive, I don't want to think negatively of you. I'm just be like, that's the devil. She goes with negative energy. She's trying to bring my light down. And it's not going to happen, not in this group. Moody, my apologies to you. I don't mean to offend and certainly don't mean to attack. I appreciate all that you do and love your flow. I don't want to disturb that. Would you mind speaking with me so that I can properly apologize? Yeah, I'm saying I don't hold grudges. I am sure ally as well as a ally to all the traders in this group in case I just knew of a perfect chart to help answer Gala's question. You asked for a chart and I gave you the chart. Yeah, a couple of people gave me the chart as well. And you just got to understand, like, I get you, and it sounds like a helpful nature. You want to help Gala, but you could DM Gala. I'm a moderator, right? And I'm having a class. And I don't even like to say like I'm a moderator or anything, but it's just like sometimes you got to tell people that. And it's just like she's asking Moody a question or D-Wiz or somebody a question. And it's just like, you're like, oh, but I want to, that's just, it's weird to me.
I'm sorry, you asked for a chart. You remember you said you could remember one.
I did. I was going to do it on, look.
That's all I was saying.
Yeah, I could scroll up. I don't know if y'all can see this, like the chat when I'm reading it, but somebody asked for QQQ and I was going to do it on QQQ. But I understand, like, I get it. But I definitely, look, let me take a screenshot. I'll definitely, we could definitely talk offline. Like, I'm not a negative person. I'm saying your
apologies. My apologies, Moody. I'm sorry.
Yeah, ain't no problem. Like, I'm a respectful person, and especially when it comes to women, and especially if you're in my culture, I'm very protective, and I just want to give great information. So when I feel attacked, I ain't gonna lie, I felt attacked the last time. You know what I'm saying? But I just let it rock. I was just like, man, it is whatever. But I know that I'm trying to do something great, and I just don't like when somebody's like, oh, but this was wrong, or I wouldn't have did this. It's like, I understand everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I do appreciate your apology, and we'll get together and have a conversation. Hey Moody, I know you still recording currently. What channel can I go to rewatch this once the meeting is finished? You can go to the mod video lessons right here. I have it pulled up. You go right here. Bam, Gala. You're gonna be nice. Keep asking these questions. Bro, Gala's gonna be a freaking beast, bro. She's gonna be a beast, bro. Facts. The 3 minutes is amazing. Yeah, 3 minutes is amazing. Hi, Moody. When I chart levels, I get so many. Oh, I gotta talk about this. Okay. I get so many. That's when I chart levels, I get so many that it's levels everywhere and confusing. How to filter clear levels in 1 minute. Thank you. That's up to you. Just clear your levels, bro. Yes, that is. Because it's like you're asking, like, you would have to send me a chart. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what I would have to just chart up a whole bunch of like levels and then be like, oh, clean this one, clean this one, clean this one. But the thing is, you're not going to chart how I chart. So if you would like me to like specifically drill down on that, I would say just chart up a chart and DM it to me on a 1 minute, and I'll help you clean it up. Yes, that's it. Oh
Moody,
yeah.
one more.
Okay.
Hey, Moody, on them options, because I did win one, but on this Apple thing, is it best to do, instead of doing weekly, is it on week, or do you do this weekly, or you just give yourself 2 weeks? Because some reason, and I was winning in the trade, and then it went up yesterday because of the Fed, and then it finally went my way, but I ended up selling on the Fed day because I don't know, I took a loss, but I really want to hold it. But it was just that it just kept, as the day kept going on, it was like losing. And even if it would have came to Friday today, where it did finally what I thought it was going to do, I still would have been down in the play, but not as much. I would probably been down by $70, $80 instead of losing 170. Should I go out further? Because I think my timing off of something. It did go my way.
It was your entry point.
Huh?
It wasn't your time. It was your entry point. It was your entry point, and you're not executing on risk management, right? Or you don't let any trade go down less than the 40% rule. You go 40%, you're gonna need like 60% just to get back to break even. I believe she or Zay, they dropped it in it's possibly, I think it's here in the general chat. It's somewhere. I gotta find it. But it's like a percentage rule that you want to abide by, because it's real. But to let you know about, like, to answer your question, I don't know. I can't answer your question. I want to answer your question correctly. I don't know what trade you was in. I don't know when you got in. I'm just being real serious with people now, and I'm going to continue to let it all out and give the information, but I'm not going to start thinking for people anymore. So you will need to give me that trade that you got in for me to help you in. Send me that to my DM. Send me a chart as well, because I'm going to hold you accountable, right? So you can be able to learn, right? Send me the chart, and as well, let me know when you enter that trade, and I can let you know what had happened on that trade, or we can do it live right now. If I think you said it was Apple, right? I would need to know your point, because when you're explaining to me, when I hear that you lost $70, or you could have possibly lost $70 if you held it another day, right? Which you would be holding it to hope that it would come back, because that's how I heard you speaking. And then you took $170 loss, right? So if you was down $70, I don't know your entry point. I know you was playing Apple. I don't know the percentage you was down. And I would ask you, before I tell you anything about expirations date, do you have a stop loss? Do you have a percentage stop loss? Do you have any type of risk management, right? The reason I say that is because how many contracts was that? Was that 1 or 2 contracts? And
it was just one.
Yeah, I would never let a contract. You said it was $170, so you possibly paid $200 or $280, $290. I mean, $180, $190 for that contract.
This what happened is that I was I was so pumped from the first one, and I got an Apple. I had a level, and I got in because it went clear 133, and I got in. I'm like, it's gonna drop all the way to 129, and I'm just thinking, I'm just going. I was trying to just swing it, but I'm like, if it goes against me, I'm gonna get out. But I was driving, and I didn't think it was gonna go that far. But I got in. It was like I think the contract was like 260. It was like $2.60. And it went my way. It went my way at first. It dropped, it went my way, but I said I'm gonna hold on to it because I think it's gonna go down further. I guess the group got
Did you
got
see
the best.
profit?
Huh?
Did you see any profit before it went back down?
Yeah, I was up. I was up.
Why didn't you take any profit?
Because I thought it was gonna go down what it did today. I just looking at the chart and just looking at everything I didn't see no way it was gonna bounce. I didn't think the Fed meeting was going.
Yeah, the Fed meeting the Fed meeting will bring volatility into the market. I'm not gonna say go down.
This is right.
Volatility.
It's just like even when I was up, and I should have sold that morning, man. It went my way that morning too. Before the Fed meeting, I still didn't sell. I don't know. I guess greed took the best of me. I don't know, man. I just think
we'll get right back to it, bro. I'm not trying to cut you off. Let me just answer this question real quick before I forget about it. So Kate, you was asking about the resistance, the strength of resistance, right? And how you can tell that it's getting weaker and weaker and going down. I just pulled up, well, it's on Bitcoin. So I just found the resistance and I'm trying to explain it off of that. So we see that the candlesticks broke down and they start coming back up, right? I'm gonna just draw this resistance right here that I see as well to see, ooh, dang, I just changed the whole entire chart. I was gonna draw this one because I could possibly, all right, yeah, I could explain it better on this one. So let's just say, and we're on a 5-minute chart. I'm gonna try to find it like on how it looks like textbook, like on a morning star. I'm gonna try to find the morning star or the evening star. I apologize, like right here, how it's like testing it. One thing that I keep in mind is that I see a PMG, right? Once these candles came all the way down and it's starting to come back up, this one candle is taking out all of these PMGs right here, right? There's a 5-minute candle. So this PMG got taken out by one candle, possibly like on a 10-minute or a 5-minute chart, right? Or it did happen on a 10-minute chart because it put both of these candles together. And the guy that was speaking, this is like how I can tell like what's going on a different time frame, because I'm putting different candles together as well. Like on a 5-minute time frame, if I pull up Bitcoin on here, on a 10-minute time frame, where was I? What was I explaining? Oh, PMG. So you can see right here, you see, you're not going to see it correlate too well because this is going to be this green candle right here. But that was these two candles on a 20-minute chart. It was one candle and it took it all out, that one PMG right here. But I connect both of these together and see, like, you see how it's connecting. If you're looking at this screen, when I'm moving it, both of these connect to each other. So that was just one big old move, right, on that PMG. It hits a resistance at this level, right? This is hindsight, so I'm just able to see, I'm able to just see that now, right? But this is a resistance. Once I see the fact that it hit this resistance and now I got this shooter and we went 2 down, I know for a fact that I have to break this resistance or it's gonna double top. If it comes back here, it's gonna double top to go back down. Obviously, that's not what happened, right? But that's usually the case, right? If I take it to Bitcoin, I'll do it in a minute and take it to the 1-minute chart. Hopefully a double top happens. But long story short, that's what normally happens, like how you see it right here, how it came and tested it. It tested it again, it double topped, right? So all this like wick right here and wick right there, you've seen it double top and go down on a 1 minute chart. So, oh, it's all the way down here. All right, it's right here. Look at the double top right here. Double top, and that's these two candles. It's gonna jump quicker because this is the 1 minute chart versus the 5 minute chart, right? So that's like me just seeing it on the 5 minute chart is just telling me that that's what's happening on the 1 minute chart, just because I understand how the candlesticks move or whatnot, right? So that's Kate, is that like helping you? Because I'm trying to figure out like another way to explain it, but I don't know if like that explained it, but I can find another way to explain it. I know you know.
Hey, so like today I was in a trade for SPY and I saw that it was going to make a new low of the day. And it finally did make a new low, but as soon as it made a new low, it kept going for a little bit and then it just reversed and then it just came right back up.
Say that one more time. What I'm hearing is not Bitcoin, but SPY was going down and we seen it going down, and then you thought it was gonna revert, kept going down a little lower from like say like this low point, like you seen it going down and it started.
I was waiting for it to make the new low of the day, which it did. And then I thought that it would stay below that new low of the day before the previous low of the day. But instead it came right back up and it landed above the previous low of the day. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, but I'm listening, but it's like all that went over my head because I'm trying to pull up the chart so I can see what you're talking about. All right, say that one more time because I'm on SPY now, so I can try to see what you're. I'm gonna go to the 5 minute and see what you were talking about. All right, say that one more time.
All right, so
yeah, you must have been talking about the 364 level.
Yes.
Yeah, I was watching that level too. Yeah, she's talking about the 364 level because that was the low. That was like a new low of the day. And I was saying if SPY breaks that level and holds, then we're going to continue.
I thought it would
drop.
continue to flush.
Yeah, it didn't hold though. It broke.
But then it just reversed and it came back up.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's why I'm getting confused. My bad. My mind is just like, you're just asking me like an analyzation and what do I think and what happened with SPY. I get what you're saying. I thought you was going with the strength of the stuff again. So what I'm gonna do is, since we wanted to understand this low right here, obviously I'm on a 5 minute chart, so I'm seeing it was a Morningstar reversal, right? So what I'm gonna do is, let's go ahead and color this so we don't forget where it's at. Do that, and I'm gonna take it over to a bigger time frame because we believe that it was gonna continue lower, right? So we're gonna see why it wouldn't have continued lower from a bigger time frame. Because the smaller time frames, we're gonna see all all the price action and the ranges and things of that nature, right? But looking at a bigger time frame, it also helps you with the direction as well of the market, right? So let me erase this one. So this was where it was right here. So now that I drew that, and remember what it looked like on a 5 minute, it was a Morningstar, right? Right here. It was a Morningstar pattern that ran back up, came back down, created a new low with a tweezer bottom, right? And that tweezer bottom is what I'm seeing on the hour, right? We got a nice little tweezer bottom right here, flush with the, kind of flush with the bodies, but not too flush, but it's a tweezer bottom. So no, I would have waited. Reason why is because as soon as I see threes and then the two down like that, my mind is automatically thinking this. 322 reversal to the upside, right? Look, look, I don't even got no reason to cap to you. Take you to general chat. Look, I don't even gotta do that. I think I put it in my channel. Moody. No, it's in the general chat. It's because it's correlating. The 3-2-2 reversal, all it is hitting in my head because I'm waiting for that for tomorrow on the 4 hour. It already correlated to the hour too. I forgot what I was correlating it to on the general chat. I be forgetting stuff, man. I ain't gonna lie, I just be doing a lot of stuff throughout the day. So come on. Right here. And I wrote a description about it. On a 4 hour, we could possibly see the 3-2-2 up or 3-2 down, 30-minute and 15-minute helps with quicker entries. It's funny how I keep talking about smaller time frames with the quicker entries, right? I just like to chart on bigger time frames. But long story short, this is what your 4 hour, right? And we can see that right now in the 4 hour, 3-2. And like I said, when I see this, that's when it automatically hits my head. It's like, oh, bullish reversal, right? What happened on the hour, and I'm on the hour, so I ain't even noticing it. But 3-2 reversal, right? So go back to the chart. With me seeing that, once I see a 2 down, even if it wasn't a 3-2, when I see a 2 down and then a 2 up on a bigger time frame, 30-minute, and 30 minutes is a bigger time frame to me as well, right? Because I trade on a 1 minute time frame, 5 minute, and 15-minute time frame, right? So long story short, once I see that reversal, the strat's telling me like no more downside right now. It's a reversal, like Tweezer bottom, try to reverse up, came back down, still was tight flush, came down, corrective activity. All it did, and so you can see it, it's just better on a bigger time frame. All it did was take out these targets. That's all it was doing. And remember when I say it takes out a target and it wicks back up, right? Because it's just stopping people out their trades, right? And I'm not saying that it's not going to go down any further. Yeah, I believe it's going to go down further, but I think it's time for a reversal. It just broke broadening formation. It's probably going to come back to test the bottom of the broadening formation, right? And see if it breaks up and comes right back down. But I'm hoping for a 2-2 reversal, a 2 up tomorrow, right? But we just got to see what SPY's doing tomorrow.
Yeah, I got faked out on
on
SPY. I didn't enter a trade, but I was on the 3 minute and it broke resistance, bullish candle, and then bearish, like a engulfing bearish candle came right back down. And I was like, damn, good thing I didn't get in calls because we broke resistance. It closed above that line, right? So I'm thinking, all right, we about to go up. And what didn't make me what stopped me was I was looking at futures and looking at the rest of the market, looking at NASDAQ. And I was like, oh, we pumping. And then I saw that, bearish engulfing candle. I was like, all right, whoa, like it's a good thing I didn't pull that trigger because I was going to load up on a few contracts to get a quick 5%, 10%. So that would have been kind of bad.
Nah, facts, bro. I'm over here reading some messages, but I feel you, bro. But looking at we're inside for the day right now, so you can always look at the mini futures when the market's closed to just get a sense of the direction. Take it to the 4 hour real quick, see if we got a reversal. It's starting to reverse. You remember like how the Morningstar likes to do right there? You see that right there, to the bottom, Morningstar resemblance. So this resistance would be like right here. So we could possibly see it opening up around this level tomorrow. I'll leave it there too, just to see. But hopefully this helped everybody with support and resistance. My bad that my energy got kind of low and thrown off, but shit happens, right? But long story short, I really do appreciate every single person on here, and as well as you, Ms. D. And thank you guys for joining the class and everything that you guys do. Really appreciate y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. Well, before I hop off, does anybody have any questions or any concerns? Y'all welcome. Okay, I don't think nobody has any questions. Let me stop sharing my screen. All right, well, oh, I left my camera on. What up, though? See, I was probably looking at my facial expression like, oh, Moody on 20 right now. That ain't tight. But all right, y'all have a blessed day, man. Peace out.